Hello. What's cracking? Oh my gosh, I haven't talked in days. My voice is gone. Hold on, let me give the mic closer to me. That'll help. I didn't realize I haven't talked out loud in like days. Hashino, hello, we back. Yes. I had a bit of an adventure a few days ago, and I've not recovered since. As those of you who were here for the meeting last time, I had an appointment I had to go to. Went to the appointment, it was a haircut. Cool. But on my way back, so I live like quite a ways out of Tokyo, right? So I'm on the train on the way back, right? On the way back, my rapid train turned into a local train, right? Like sometimes it does that. I don't understand how or why yet. All I know is that sometimes Google Maps does not know that. So like you experience it, you know, a lot of changes you'll see on your phone, right? I was experiencing this like in person, obviously, right? I do know the announcer guy, you know, over the loudspeaker, said something about that. He's like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what he said. I just know that a lot of people got off the train. And usually when that happens, that means like the train's out of service, right? Like it's like, okay, get on the next train. This train is, you know, we're going to clean this train or do repairs on this train or something, right? So I was like, okay, that's probably what's happening. And then I look around and there's still people on the train. I was like, oh, maybe that's not what's happening. And usually when the rapid train turns into a local train, it's like super late at night. This was only like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., something like that. So it wasn't like super late, right? So I'm like, oh, maybe just a lot of people were getting off at this stop. He did have an announcement, but I don't know why. So I stay on the train. And I don't know if I didn't have service or what when I had looked at my phone. But I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to arrive until, you know, such and such time. So, you know, go back to watching my YouTube video or whatever, right? So no big deal. So I'm starting to watch my YouTube video. And it's the time that I would get off. And I look outside, and it's not my train station. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, that's not my train station. And I look at Google Maps, and I had got sent, like, so if this is, it's going to be backwards, because, you know, you're looking at, like, a mirror image of me. If the, man, I can't do it unless it's, yeah, okay. So let's say that the Tokyo's over here, right? Tokyo's over here, right? And we go this way, and the train can split in two different directions. I'm like this down direction, but the train took me on this like upper direction. So I'm like in a whole other place, whole other part of like Western Tokyo that I've never been before. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm here, right? And I look at the thing, and because it had turned into a local train, there's no like rapid trains back to where I need to be. So even though I only took like a 15-minute detour, it's now going to take me another hour to get home. So I just like added a bonus hour to my trip. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. It's going to take me an hour to get home. So I'm going to go to Book Off. Book Off's like my favorite store. And it's basically just like used stuff, right? So I'm like, I'll go to Book Off. Because I'm in the whole other area I've never been before. It's still pretty early. It must have been only like 8 something. Because Book Off was still open. So like, okay, I'll go to Book Off. So I went to Book Off, and it was like a fine one, whatever. But like on my way there, I was like, it wasn't like a sketchy part of town, but it was like a eerily empty part of town. I'm like, where am I? I don't know where I am right now. So I'm like exploring, make it to this Book Off, go in there for like 10 minutes and then leave. I'm like, okay, I'll start getting back home now. So I get on the train, and you know, I have to get back to the point where it like split off before I can go back home. And so it's like a 30-minute journey there. And so, you know, I'm watching the time. I'm checking how many stops it is. I'm like, okay, I have to make sure I get back on track. I get to where I'm supposed to split off according to like all my data, right? Like my time, how many stations it was away. And I'm like, okay, but I better double check so I don't get lost. So I check my phone, and Google Maps says I'm at a whole different station, right? Google Maps says I'm at a whole different station. And I'm like, okay, I you know, I'm going to trust Google Maps. Because like, you know, it has GPS, so it's gonna know where my little dot is, right? So like, I'll trust Google Maps, like, and I won't get off at this station. So I then stay on for one more track or whatever. What's up, Patriot? Patriot fan. My eyes, I cannot see anything today. I'm like too far away or something. I'll bring you guys closer. Hold on. Here we go. Now I can see you. So, I get off like I'm like, I think it said I was like 2 stations away or like a station away or something. So I stay on the train for like 1 or 2 stations, and I get off and I'm like, I've never been here before. This is where Google Maps says to get off. And then like I've been at the station where it like branches off before. So I'm like, I've really never been here before. It's not what I remember it looking like. And it was like this like futuristic station, right? Like it had like metal. It's not like a subway entrance because it's like a train station instead of a subway. And like subways aren't this futuristic either. It's like this like you know how you think of like a future building? It like opens up to a future building and all the doors are like multi-panel sliding doors, right? And I like come out and I'm the only one on the station. I'm like, where am I? This future building, right? I've never been to this future building before. And so like I start walking out. I'm like, well, this is where Google Maps says I'm supposed to get off. Start walking out. And then Google Maps like jumps my little dot over like a really far distance. And I'm like, oh no, Google Maps lied to me. So I got off at the wrong station again. And I like exit this. I'm like, well, I'm here. I'll go to book off again. So I exit the train station. And it's like this futuristic building. So not only is it futuristic on the inside, but on the outside it's futuristic too. But there's still like no one around. It's super weird. 2 stations in a row with nobody around. And so I go to book off again. A new book off that I haven't been to before. And it was fine. I didn't really find anything there. I'm like, okay, well, time to go home again, right? And like now I've like increased my home. Like if getting home normally takes like an hour, it's like I'm like hour 3 now of like trying to get home. And this is like again right after the meeting last time. So I start coming home, and I do get home this time, just in time to like have like 10 minutes for the grocery store to still be open, like the super late night one. It's like I get, because I haven't eaten at all like that the day, and I'm like, so I get some food, right? Or if I have eaten, it wasn't since like it was something small in the morning, right? Get all the food I can, whatever. And so basically, very long story short, I only had slept before the last meeting. I only had slept like 3 hours, and then I did the meeting. Then I had my haircut, and then I had like a 3 to 4 hour journey home for no reason, other than like I was, you know, got thrown off, right? And then I slept. I like set alarms to have the meeting in the morning, and then I slept through my alarms, and I slept for like 2 days. Chat, I've been sleeping. I haven't showered. I haven't shaved. I've barely eaten. I slept for like 2 days. And my assumption, the only thing I can think of is like, well, maybe I'm doing something unhealthy with my life right now. But it must have been because like the 2 weeks leading up to it were like finals week. That's the only thing I can think of, is that like I just needed that sleep really badly. I don't know what was going on. Snorlax mode, yeah. I don't know what was going on. I could not wake up. like I would set alarms constantly. I would wake up to the alarms, and I would, you know, like when your eyes are so heavy, they like almost like sting, right? I'd wake up and I would like start trying to do something with my day, and then just like time just passed, like I fell asleep somewhere, right? That explains why you didn't go live. I was hoping for you two because of the lore library I want to talk about. Oh yes, ask away. Makes sense, especially after the GPS mishap adventure. I mean, like I wasn't even tired then. It was like, in a way it was fun, right? Like to get lost, whatever. Because it's like, oh, I don't really do, like when I used to travel to Japan as like a tourist, I'd love getting lost. So like I really didn't mind getting lost, and I wasn't tired. And I assume it's because I was actually enjoying myself, right? It just wasn't until I got home, and I'm like, I cannot stay awake, and I just kept sleeping for like 2 days straight, legitimately 2 days straight. I was watching your VODs, and when you came across the book in Mr. Foodie's house, you weren't sure what it was. When I was playing through, I figured he must have entered a drawing that won him the Poke Flute. And that's how he had one to give to us. That's my guess. Like the Poke Flute's like on a prize or something? Did we learn what the prize was? I feel like we do need to like finish up the fame checker, right? So anyways, My sleep schedule is fucked. um, Yesterday I was like, okay, can I try to like after I had slept for like a day and a half, I was like, can I try to stay awake all night and like in the morning have this meeting? And I couldn't, so I'm just having a meeting at 2 a.m. and I'm well rested. Like my sleep schedule's totally ruined. I was thinking it was a surprise. I mean, like that's not a bad guess. I don't know if there's the problem being like you have to assume that was his prize for that to make sense, right? Like you have to insert data that wasn't there before. I think it's plausible. I think we would need like a piece, right? The book does appear in his fame checker, so I could buy it. The book does appear in his fame checker. Let's finish his fame checker. Put a pin in that. I don't think that's like out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, let's finish his fame checker. And then I was like, well, I'll stream more of the game. So when I was awake at like 2 a.m., if you see me, I've been like on Twitter or whatever, right? At my 2 a.m., not your 2 a.m. It's like, I'll just stream the game. But I'm like, oh, that would ruin my perspective on the stuff we talked about in the book club. So I haven't been like allowed to do anything either, right? I've basically just been like twiddling my thumbs. The short periods of time I was awake, I only ate like twice. Like I would eat like one out of those 2 days I slept. I would eat like once, and like it would put me right back to sleep. I have no idea what was going on. I have no guesses. It's just a wild experience. Again, the only thing I was like trying to like process what happened. I'm like, it must have just been I was tired from finals, because I don't feel that way anymore. Like maybe I wasn't getting like enough meat or something. I don't know. But like I eat meat. I don't know. Like I just couldn't figure it out. I'm fine, I think. I mean, like I don't feel different. I just couldn't wake up. So that's where we are now. I'm fully rested. My sleep schedule's totally flipped, which is bad. Good for you guys. Bad for me, and maybe bad for my neighbors. I'm not sure. I don't know how loud I'm allowed to be. I don't. In my opinion, if I'm starting stream earlier than people go to bed, then I can like continue that level of volume, right? But like if it's 2 a.m. and suddenly you start hearing a guy go wah, 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 like that to me is like would startle you awake, right? So anyways, let's have our meeting, shall we? Obviously, do you remember where we were? I do not remember where we were. Japan does tend to be a bit more sensitive to noise from what I hear. Yes. So ASMR stream win. This is as quiet as I can be. I'm a very loud person. And I just can't, like, if I get, like, whisper any lower, like, the sound doesn't come out. I am, like, incapable of whispering. What was the last thing we did? I should have checked my VOD. Whoops. Did we beat Koga? I think we did, because I think I talked about... Yeah, and I remember saying something about strength. Oh, I talked about the medicine. Okay, let's just go this way. Fishing Guru. Oh, and I was like, oh, Kirby. Oh, do you guys like my... I made this? I made this? Look at this. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. You get to like a little driver's license. Or like a membership card thing. We wrapped up Safari Zone, Doug. Did we really? I'm behind, but I need to catch up. No one make him laugh. That's when he's allowed. It's true. Shh, don't make me laugh. Anyways, I made a UFO suck up Kirby. I'm pretty proud of that. We talked about Chansey. We talked about how they really hammer it home that he's a mimic. We talked about the substitute doll. We talked about Ammonite and its opposite of what you get. Let's find out. Each zone has different kinds of Pokemon, even some rare ones. Oh, I think we talked about how, like, in my opinion, these must be like Pokemon from different parts of the world, the ones that you can only catch here. The last thing I remember was trying to find a certain NPC in front of the Safari Zone, but she wasn't there. Oh. Oh, yes. Yeah. We're not talking about that. We talk about China. Did we talk about this? I don't think we talked about this. So the execute, if we have, we'll just talk about it again. That was your fault. Don't worry about it. The egg is big in the center, which was a Gen 1 thing, and I guess a Gen 3 thing. They've dropped that since. That there's like one center egg. Yeah, I asked her what this pattern was. And the teeth are right there. We'll do like a clean start to this. Ding dong. Where's Sarah? Oh, this must be it then. Oh yeah, I didn't get this joke. Okay, here we are. So, curious if the center egg is big. Like that in Ruby and Sapphire. Oh yeah, that would be good to look at. Yeah, I don't get this joke at all. I don't actually get this joke. If someone has an idea what this joke is, like, it's fine. They just don't know where each other are. But I don't get the joke. You guys want to see my giant baby bottle? So in Japan, these are like what water bottles look like. You can get normal size water bottles, but these are like the same price as a normal size water bottle. Like, they're maybe even sometimes cheaper. You can get these for like 70 yen, and water bottles are like 120 yen sometimes, right? And so whenever you like hang out with people, they're like, you know, drinking their giant baby bottle of water. Fuzzy memory, but I think it's just a setup. There's a payoff somewhere. Yes, we've seen the girl, but like, it's not that big of a payoff, which is what makes it confusing. For RGO, I assume that says beat, Argo beat maybe in Leet speak. Thanks for the follow. Vamp Gamer Geek, thanks for the follow. No, another payoff. Oh, I don't know yet. No spoilers though. If it is, I mean, I didn't find it though, I guess, unless it's like later on. There's a narrow, yeah, but no here. By the way, just so we know, chat, for this meeting, no, here it comes. It's kind of spoilers, like I'm not gonna say anything, but blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, don't, none of those, okay? I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? No, like hint hint, wink wink. You know, nothing like that, right? So I think that's where we are. Okay, clean cut. So this is our meeting part 2. I have finally awoken. We will now talk about things. There is a narrow trail west of the Viridian City. Can you guys hear me? What's up, Arrow? No winking, Arrow. No winking. It goes all the way to the Pokemon League. The HQ governs all trainers. Maybe we talked about this last week, but yes, this is like a kind of a reveal. I think we did talk about this. It's kind of a reveal about something we were speculating on since the beginning, that the trainers are like an official Pokemon League thing. So like, you can have Pokemon, but like, what a trainer is like a part of the league. That's why you have your trainer ID and stuff like that, right? Now I was just blinking one eye. It's fine. You screenshot of this too. It's a good screenshot. So this is important, and it also makes me think. So right now I'm on Twitter arguing with people. We talked about this. I asked about why trainers pay each other out, so it's likely due to the Pokemon League. Yes, we did talk about this. Okay, well, I'm gonna add an extra thing. I'm arguing on Twitter right now. Not arguing. People are arguing at me when it wasn't even like something that was up for debate, right? I had posted that there's no such thing as baby Pokemon in the Pokemon games. Capital B, baby Pokemon, the label baby Pokemon. Everything that qualifies for what we call a baby Pokemon still exists. Okay? That still exists. Like the what qualifies, like the qualifiers, whatever. They all still exist, but the term baby Pokemon is a I don't want to say misunderstanding, but it comes from the Pokemon TCG. It's a game mechanic from the card game, like a Pokemon EX would be, right? Baby Pokemon exist only in the TCG. And so I was explaining, I'm like, oh, it's most likely like a mistake that happened because Gen 2 cards in Japanese came to the US before the Gen 2 games came to the US. And so we knew about baby Pokemon like half a year in advance of the games coming out. And so when we saw baby Pokemon that, like our baby Pokemon, we just call them baby Pokemon. But that mechanic name, that official classification doesn't exist and has never existed in the games. And even when Pokemon Go, which is like a kind of like a third party, right? Even when Pokemon Go added the mechanics of baby Pokemon, they used to have it where you could search baby Pokemon, but then it got patched out and it's now like called eggs only or something. So the term baby Pokemon never existed. So I posted. The games weren't first here. Gen 2 weren't first here. Gen 2 cards got imported here. So Gen 2 came out a year after Japan here in the US. It's like Pikachu clones exist, but not an actual subdivision of Pokemon. Yes. Or classification, yes. And so I just posted as a fun fact. So I was like, oh, fun fact. Like this doesn't really exist. I wasn't like mad at anyone or anything like that. I was just like, fun fact. And people were upset with me. I'm like, what? People were like arguing me, like there's nothing to argue. Like you being like nah at me doesn't make like the text appear in the game, right? I was like starting some conversations with people and giving like the benefit of the doubt. I was like, oh, blah 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 blah. I was trying to explain or whatever, and they'd be like even more mad, and they'd be like, oh, I'm never blah blah blah. And I'm like, and so I just delete. I'm like, I'm just cutting you off. I don't even want to talk to you. I'm like, I was never here, right? And so like people are like getting upset, right? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I can't change the game, And the reason I bring that up is I should have seen this coming. That same sort of reaction happened not to me, but in the Pokemon community in general, with first partner Pokemon. Okay, first partner Pokemon is the official term for starter Pokemon. So starter Pokemon doesn't exist, and every once in a while they slip up, like in the dub, especially older episodes. I think sometimes the social media manager, who especially if it's a new person, I'm tuned in enough to know when there's like a new person working at at Pokemon, right? If it's a new person, sometimes like a starter Pokemon thing will slip by, right? But generally you're not supposed to say that. Like even like casters and VGC aren't allowed to say that, right? And so, where was I going? There was someone that was first partner Pokemon. I can see the logic in it because if you're living in the Pokemon universe, you're not limited to those three that we are limited to, right? You're not limited to the three Pokemon that we are limited to. Does that make sense? And so Hop from Sword and Shield, his first partner Pokemon is Wooloo. And then, but if they went by starter Pokemon, it'd be like, no, that's not a starter Pokemon, that's a Wooloo. So then when Hop later on gets a quote-unquote starter Pokemon, you're like, that is a starter Pokemon. Well, like, oh, no, they didn't start with that. He started with Wooloo. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where the confusion comes up? And I think that goes even further with this game specifically, because through playing this game, through the book club, we've kind of rediscovered that the Pokemon Oak gives you aren't special. I mean, like they're special in the sense that they're like from Oak, but they aren't like a Pokemon League sanctioned set of beginner Pokemon. Does that make sense? Like it is in the anime. Like we assume it is in the anime. Actually, I don't even know if that's true in the anime, but I feel like that's the assumption people make when they're like, oh, this is a starter Pokemon. This is a starter kit. This is a starter deck. You know what I mean? Like it's not some pre-planned a choice of options. Oak says it's just the 3 he had left, right? He's like, oh, it's like my 3 last Pokemon. And so we even find out he's not a part of the Pokemon League. So it's doubly not a quote-unquote starter Pokemon. It is just his Pokemon that he has that you have the option from choosing from. But then again, everyone else has different first partner Pokemon. So if you take the time to ask why are they so insistent on calling them first partner Pokemon and trying to figure that, like reverse engineer that, you realize it's like, oh, it's because the Pokemon they give you, there's nothing like pre-packaged about them. You can battle people with Charmanders in the wild, and you can battle people with Pokemon that aren't Charmanders and Squirtles and Bulbasaurs. That doesn't mean that their beginner Pokemon aren't like their first Pokemon, right? And it also doesn't mean that like just because they have a Charmander, it was like a pre-packaged Pokemon. You know what I mean? Professor Oak is separate from the Pokemon League, and so there is nothing starter about the starter Pokemon other than it's the ones you start with, right? Now, of course, in a meta sense, we all understand that those 3 are the mascots of the game, right? But in the Pokemon world, that doesn't apply. It's just he just gave you some Pokemon that happen to be in the region, right? Those are his last 3 left, and it doesn't mean he isn't like planning it out, right? But there's nothing like league sanctioned about them because he's not even a part of the league in the games, right? Just Twitter being Twitter. Curious to see what would happen if I posted something with the intention of setting people off. No, don't do it. It's not worth it. You have garnered a reputation of saying things that people hate hearing because it goes against years of their own understanding, despite their understanding being wrong. Yes. Yes. Just told my best friend about that. She wasn't mad, just surprised. Which one? I think first partner Pokemon is a bit of a mouthful, so I don't personally like it. But the vitriol from the fandom about it seems so ridiculous. Yes. 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 I think it's everything you guys are saying, right? First partner Pokemon is clunky. I get that. Starter Pokemon, we've all been saying it forever. I get that. But like, if they haven't given in, they've given in to shiny Pokemon, right? If they haven't given in to first partner Pokemon, maybe there's a reason why, and it's worth exploring the reason why, right? And I think it's this. I think it's this right here. It's that, there is a whole like setup about the Pokemon League, and those Pokemon are not a part of it. You know what I mean? These are the things we learn at the Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen book club. My sleep schedule is also broken. I'm awake at 2:30. I blame the rain. Are you here? Because I get it. Because it's raining right now. Are you here? Start a Pokemon. How come I've never bumped into you? What? Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is raining. I had to put the first time it rained, no, it was snowed. First time it snowed, it like flooded my apartment with like condensation, like all around the corners. It was just like a pool of water. And so like I have a dehumidifier that was active until right before I started streaming. I don't get how to survive here in the weather. Starter Pokemon describes their role as a gameplay mechanic, but doesn't function in the universe. Yes. Humidity is the enemy. Yes. Yes. I was so shocked. I mean, like, I've lived in places with rain my whole life. I've never been flooded before. And, like, I don't want to say it was one day. It was more like 2 days. Like, I remembered it the night before. Right? That it was, like, snowing. It was, like, the night before is when it started snowing. Because I had just gotten home when it started snowing. And then I like woke up, went on about my day, and I had my curtains closed, right? So I wasn't really paying attention to them, right? And then it's the next morning when I woke up to just like water everywhere. I'm like, how the heck did that happen? Which part of Japan are you in? Tokyo. Also, welcome. Are you? So none of you guys can sleep? I get it. I get it. Said the guy, cool, what the heck? Everyone's here. That's so weird to me. I'm in Tokyo, that's crazy. Why is everyone here? It was so hard to get here. Also, just as a marketing perspective, first partner seems better for SEO. Starter can relate to TCG decks and perhaps more. But, people are searching starter. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, and then I feel like the response to that is like, that's stupid. Why do they care so much? I'm like, well, if they didn't care so much, you wouldn't care so much. You know what I mean? Like if they didn't care about their world building, you wouldn't care about their world building, just because that one thing. That's what I'm saying. How have I not met you? Well, I have no idea. I mean, I can tell you, I've been working, school and working pretty much since I got here. I haven't done anything. Well, I've done like I went to the Kirby Cafe. And I went to game industry party when I first got here. Those are the only two fun things I've done since I've gotten here. And I've been here for like 6 months. Are you married? No, no, no. What? No. I live in a box. um yeah, no, no, no. I'm the furthest away from marriage possible. Um I'm I'm not like just getting by, but I'm still like in the getting used to living here and like starting a life here phase. That's how you got here. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. No. I was like, what? Like I'm flattered. No. Anyways, so um I just work here. Oh, that's nice. I want to work here. It's I have to. I'm gonna complain about one more thing. I'm not supposed to have my pension stuff yet because I'm a student. And I talked to when I first got here. I talked to people about pension stuff. They're like, oh, you don't have to do it because you're a student. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know what anything is. I'm trusting this person. Last week, I get slammed with like 7 pieces of mail that are like, where is your pension? I'm like, what the heck? What do you mean? What do you mean? So I have to go to the city hall. I was supposed to go 2 days ago, but if you were here at the beginning of the stream, I was like, I slept for the last 2 days. Not supposed to go. I wanted to go 2 days ago. And so if I stay awake until daylight, because my sleep schedule is borked. If I stay awake till daylight. Oh man, maybe I should go to bed. I have to go do pension stuff at City Hall. You can't trust anyone. It's so stressful. I think the Hoenn anime is the first time I ever stated the Elemental Trio is a Pokemon League sanctioned thing. I don't think the Indigo League anime ever actually implies that. I think he says something like standard issue Pokedex. What are you studying there? Game design? No, I'm studying Japanese. I want to work in the game industry here. I wanted to. The big dream was like to earn enough money while I was here to do the whole. There's like a visa for like starting a business here, but they just increased it to like 3,000 times more money, so that's not happening. But I wanted to work in the game industry here, but you have to know Japanese, which is kind of a big deal. So I was like, okay, I'll come here for 2 years, learn Japanese, and then probably go to my ideal traversal through all this is school for 2 years, and then like other school for art for 3 years, because I want to have an art style that's more in line with stuff here, right? So I figured to go to art here, or art school class here, right? No wonder I was clicking with your thoughts for the past couple of streams. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. Because you're making games too? Cool. I remember you mentioning wanting to work in games, so I wasn't sure. Yeah. So I want to just basically school for like the first 5 years I'm here, and then hopefully, I mean, by then, if I don't know Japanese, like that's a big concern, right? By then, I think I'll be like art skill wise, Japanese wise, and like living here wise, I think I'll be ready to like decide if I'm staying here to work on games or going back home and like working on games freelance, or some myriad of options, right? Like if I know Japanese, I can work from home. I want to stay here, but we'll see. Does that answer your question? I don't remember the question. What are we talking about? Yeah, we definitely talked about this. Wing attack, Chansey. Did we talk about Chansey? I do remember tossing rocks. Man, I was so tired last stream. Oh, the different transitions. What's up, Water Pig Cow? Hi, first time I've gotten to get one of these live, but I'm the guy spamming your video channel comments. Thank you for doing that. It didn't cross my mind that I haven't told anybody about my VOD channel for like a year or two. So like, of course people aren't gonna be using that to watch, to like leave comments and stuff. So I was like, oh, it's kind of a wash, but thanks to you, you're like keeping it alive. So I appreciate that, very much so. And your comments are good. A Tauros, yes, I got a Tauros. We did top of the fame checker. Mr. Fuji has his Cubone there. So like, even though you don't see it in game, you do see it in his little fame checker thing. Gold teeth. Oh, we were trying to figure out the Safari Zone was like newly opened or just the secret house. The Cubone looks especially baby. It's true. That's awesome. Glad you're where you want to be. The Japanese process is in tackling art design is really special. Yeah, I haven't like drawn 2D art much in like years. Like I'll do pixel art all the time. But I'm like, well, maybe, you know, at this point I might as well just wait and just start from scratch and like learn a more anime art style, right? Cuz like another side conversation. We just, like, as Western foreigner people, just suck at doing anime art styles. And I don't know why. And it's not like it's impossible. There are, like, every once in a while, like a One Piece animator from, like, Spain or the US or France or something will show up in my feed on Twitter. And their stuff looks exactly correct. Do you know what I mean? Like, that looks like One Piece to me, you know, or Dragon Ball or whatever, right? Or, like, it'll be some of the best... Like one of the people that came across my feed did like I won't spoil it because if you haven't seen it, but like a Daima action scene near the end of the series. And it was like one of the coolest scenes. And it's like, yeah, I'm a guy from America or whatever. I'm like, well, clearly that guy figured it out, right? So it's possible, but like, you know, and I'm not disparaging this. It's a very good movie, but like, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters. They're still doing like the Kappa Mikey anime faces, like the Teen Titans anime faces, which are like, you know, you can tell. Oops, just bumped my phone. You can tell they like care about anime, but like they aren't bridging the gap. It's like it's like still kind of not offensive, but like not. It's like parody almost, right? It's like anime parody, which almost has like a oh, you care about anime but not enough to like do it kind of vibe to it, right? I'd say inspired, right? Yeah, that's fair. But like they're still not pulling it off, right? It's like the big faces, like the mouths that like go over, like extend past their the width of their face, right? Very, if you've seen Kappa Mikey, it looks exactly like Kappa Mikey. Like Kappa Mikey was like a parody, right? And so, and we're like still doing that. Like that was okay like 20 years ago, but we're still doing that, right? Hot topic, and I'm again not disparaging anyone. It's more of just like an observation of reality, right? That like we're still struggling with this. Hot Topic has Kingdom Hearts merch, and typically you are not allowed to. Like you're just only allowed to use key art from like Japanese properties. Like I've noticed this forever. It's like, you know, whenever there's Pokemon merch in the US, it's always Japanese art, right? Japanese key art from the Pokemon Company. It's never like original art. And so at Hot Topic, the Kingdom Hearts merch does have original art. And I don't know why they're doing it. It doesn't really like change anything. As in like you can make the same shirts with what I'm about to say. You can make the same shirts with the key art, right? But what will happen is they'll have like Riku Kairi key art, and then in front of them like an original Hot Topic Sora. Right? I have an original Hot Topic Sora, and it's like, it looks almost like Sora, but like it stops short of looking anime. It's like cartoony, like very like bendy Sora. Like Sora somehow looks a little bit bendier than usual, right? He looks a little more like Western, and I'm not like articulate enough to know like what the difference is. I can see it, but like I don't know what to. Like, it's just like slightly different Western Sora, right? After the last Airbender, Boondocks pulled off a good balance. Yeah. Kotorin-san, hello. American anime Uncanny Valley. You kind of. I'm not super plugged in on anime. It feels like you're describing an ironic distance. I don't know what an ironic distance is. It's more than just technique from my observations. Yeah, so, and it's not like the art is bad. It's just like, oh, for like there's a, like I can personally tell the difference between Western and Japanese pixel art, even though it's literally pixels, right? Like it's literally squares. Those squares don't change in size, right? They don't change in shape. I can tell the difference between Western and Japanese pixel art. If you ask me what the differences were, I don't know. I don't know what the differences are. Like I can see them, but like I couldn't like give you a detailed list of like what changes or what, right? I see Shiji mean, but I can't read the rest. Chotomate, Japanese to English. Shijimi no April wa kita? Yeah. Maybe. Nemasu? Neru? Nemashita, maybe? Pixel Japan. Pixel Japan. But the thing is, it's true. I can tell. To me, it's so obvious. It's so obvious, the difference. But, like, not obvious for me to be able to describe it. And I don't think either of them are better than the other ones. Like, maybe one of the things is, like, American pixel artists have a different animating style. It's, like, more fluid. But, like, that's not true. And their deep dive is the Chinese gacha art versus Japanese gacha art as well. Yes. It's so weird because a lot of Chinese gacha art looks more anime than a lot of Japanese anime. In like a pure form, right? Like one of the default like Pixiv anime art style. Sometimes like, Genshin Impact is like zeroed in on that. They are the most like vanilla anime. The most default. Anyways, let's continue this. We did look at the Professor Oak's aid. This must be where we are. We talked about... There was like a Team Rocket guy, right? Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, his sister's beating him up. The biker. Yes. Okay, so maybe this is where we really... Did we go into the... Did we go into the... Did we go in here? I don't think so. Did we go into the power plant? I don't remember. Well, let's start talking here. Okay, so Pokemaniac in the Japanese version. We really talked about the power plant, but it's when we were still in the cycling red. Okay, perfect. Pokemaniac in Japanese is Pokemania? No, Kaiju Mania, I think. Right? Kaiju Mania. And we kind of reverse engineered that because I was pointing out that first of all, not only are they wearing a kaiju outfit, right, but all of their Pokemon are kaiju, right, which is really interesting. Lickitung makes sense as a kaiju. There was one that didn't like make total sense as a kaiju. What was it? At least usually, I think we'll find out. Not always, maybe. The power plant's all run down. I love that you can see it. How cool is that? Cool machine. They don't tell you what it is. I wonder what this is about. Why did I save this? Oh, this is... I think I fell for this, so I recorded it. Yeah. Or maybe I knew that was one, because it looks like I stopped. I was like, I bet you this is an electrode. Love that. What's up, Turbo Dog? So cool. So yeah, they're mimics of this game. They kind of... Oh my god, I forgot about that. They kind of sell that to you in Fuchsia. So Electrode tried using... I was like really excited to catch it, but it self-destructed right away. I had no idea. But apparently I had an ability on my Psyduck that it's called Damp that prevents it from self-destructing. I'm like, what? Really? I didn't know that. Oh, here's the clip of it. You guys can watch it while I take a sip of my coffee. So cool. What's a Rhythm Rally? I had no idea. I didn't even know that was a thing. It explodes in response to even minor stimuli. It is feared with the nickname of the Bomb Ball. I almost wonder if that's like a Final Fantasy reference. There's a I think it's called a bomb. It's a little floating round fireball that does the same thing. So I wonder if that's a Final Fantasy reference. I mean, I've never heard them ever talk about Final Fantasy. But I mean, like, that's the first thing I think of. Maybe they're both like a wizardry reference. That I've never played wizardry. At some point when we get really deep into the lore library, which, by the way, you should all join. My Patreon-only Discord. When we get really deep into it, we should play wizardry together. Like draw maps and stuff. I think that'd be so fun. Because like that's like the origin of like 90% of like Japanese RPGs. What could this machine be? I don't know. 100%? Yeah, I think that'd be so fun. I want to like go ham on playing wizardry. Like, I don't know anything about it, so it'd be really cool to like explore, right? A linked cluster formed of several magnemite and discharges powerful magnetic waves at high voltage. Oh, I found Electabuzz. I love that they're a separate magnemite. That's really cool. It loves to feed on strong electricity. Occasionally appears around large power plants and so on. I don't know. That's kind of a cop out. The way they wrote that and so on. Moves while constantly hovering. It discharges Thunder Wave. It does seem like I want to play Gen 1. I want to play Gen 1 and... Oh, you love the screw foot? The screw footprint? Me too. Yeah, I love that. It has a different one for Magnemite. I guess it would be smaller. I would love to play Gen 1. And I don't want the answer to this. We'll save it for when we play Gen 1. I would love to play Gen 1 and like see what the moveset is. And see if like these are more... Because there's like Pokedex entries that have like almost implied signature moves, right? So I'd love to see like how much of that like lines up with just being that Pokemon. I talked to this guy. I don't think he was anything. Hello there. I've seen you about, but I never had the chance to chat. It must be good luck that brought us together finally. Would you like to celebrate by teaching you the move Soft Boiled? Hope we can chat again. I'm too nervous to use these. Big mushroom and small mushroom or whatever. A large and rare mushroom, and it's very popular among certain people. I want to like hold on to them until like the end of the game. I haven't found anybody that needs them. Oh, that looks cool. That was an accidental screenshot. I feel like he's there just to encourage backtracking to explore. I mean, that's possible. What do you think this is? Must be me. Oh, that first one I did fall for, because this is the one that I guessed right. I was like, okay, so this is definitely a Voltorb. Electrode, sorry. Oh, why is this here? Is this me absorbing it again? Oh, no, that it goes away on its own. Yeah, weird. If you run away from it, it like vanishes on its own. Me seeing Zapdos. We were here forever. Oh, I wonder if the implication here is that they're making Thunderstones at the power plant? Like maybe these machines are? That feels like a reach to me. But it's like one of those things that's like, I'll put a pin in that. Like maybe they're like, you know, when you use up certain energy or whatever, like the output is a Thunderstone or something. Of course, the music is pitched up, so they don't have their own themes, but like ever since Gen, well, maybe 2 or 3, I don't remember, legendary Pokemon started getting their own themes. So what they did is since these didn't have their own themes, they pitched it up instead. Not an impossibility for stones to absorb nearby energy. You do almost exclusively find moonstones in Mount Moon after all. Yeah, but I think that's like from, they explained where those are from. Maybe the rubbles getting radiated and transform into thunderstones. Yeah, it all seems possible to me, right? Why'd you write 2? What does 2 mean? Play. How do I get you to play? Oh, Gen 2 is when they started doing music? Themes? Obviously by Gen 3 they were doing it. I can't hear any of this. I meant Gen 2. Gotcha. Why am I taking a screenshot of this? I don't know. Oh, Kirby, don't look at Kirby. Actually, I'm going to talk about Kirby real quick. This implies, like, Kirby's mate. I'm like, this, obviously they just wanted a nice car-related sticker. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, Kirby's have to exist somehow. I just don't want to think about it. Do you think Zapdos caused the power plant to close? Or that Zapdos came to the power plant because of it was closed? Or some secret third thing? I'm not sure. There's not like evidence in either, but there are recent Pokemon cards that make it look like Zapdos is attacking the power plant. It could also just be like it was abandoned and therefore it was like sucking up the energy, right? What's up, Play It Forward Gaming? Isn't Kirby a baby Star Warrior? So it must have parents some way. I'm unfamiliar with Kirby lore. That's how the anime works. But I honestly don't know. I'm just saying like it's a weird implication. This is just always a nice thing to... I'm too small now. That's fine. We talked about this at the beginning, but yeah, you can like learn what their elevator pitch of the game is. It's odd. Zapdos is the only legendary bird who doesn't reside in a natural location. I'm under the impression that like all of them move around, because you can pass by people. They're like, oh, it's a mirage. If it was in one place the whole time, they'd probably find it by then, right? You know what I mean? Like they might reside there, but like they move around a lot. One of the legendary bird Pokemon, while it's flying, it makes crackling and snapping sounds. Here's a lookout spot upstairs. The view is magnificent. I don't think it was that great. It was like Lavender Town and a sleeping Snorlax or something. I like your style. I think we can be friends. Take this and fish, young friend. From the seas to the rivers, go out and land the big one, my friend. I have a request. Oh, this is like a side mission. So Pokemon, and I assume this is like a restriction of the Game Boys, the Game Boy games, they have like side missions in this that are like almost like passive, right? We were using the copycat earlier. It's like you can give the copycat a Poke Doll that you kind of learn through talking to an NPC, a separate NPC, right? I haven't done this one yet, but he wants you to come. He wants you to catch Magikarp and talk to him. So it's like a fishing side game or side mission. I don't know. Staying in front of Zapdos for 5 hours and didn't move once. Okay. As much as I love to fish, I also love seeing gigantic Magikarp. And so like the chart, I assume fills out when you do it. I have not done it yet. We'll get to it. Oh, is this the only time we see a rocker? Don't answer that, because obviously there's more game. It's just what I'm thinking of in the moment, right? Dr. Hill, Drill Hill, not Dr. Hill, Drill Hill. Thanks for the follow. I've got a bunch of Magikarp. It gets way harder if you don't use Save Scum. Oh, interesting. Is the kaiju that didn't make sense to you Lapras? What are you talking about? No. Lapras makes sense to me. I don't remember which one it was that I was like, they have one of these, but I don't remember. I didn't expect it to be a kaiju. They have something, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, this is the first time I've seen a rocker. Look at him go. I couldn't catch him. I don't know what to think about the Pokemon Sea, though. Yeah, interesting. Oh, the reason he's... So this is like another like subtle tutorial. He's searching for a Moonstone. Have you found one? I could have made my Pokemon... As you beat him, he says, I could have made my Pokemon evolve with a Moonstone. So then you're like, oh, I can evolve my Nidorino with a Moonstone? And obviously by then you have one. It reminds me, when I was younger, I didn't know what the type chart was. There was 100+ spots on the chart, so I thought each one corresponded to a specific Pokemon. Like in a magazine or a pamphlet. This guy, I love this guy basically telling you how to evolve the Nidos. Exactly. And I feel like there's a lot of that in the game. It's just you talk to people. I really do think a lot of Pokemon issues maybe come from people not reading things. Right? So like, you know, people make jokes about the fisherman like loving Magikarp, but it's not that at all. And you know, it could just be part of the jokes. But I feel like, you know, the jokes gotten repeated so many times that like it becomes reality. But they're just catching Magikarp because it's what they're catching. So they're not like, they don't love Magikarp. It's just like, oh, we came by. This guy even says he basically doesn't like them, right? I catch them all the time, sure, but boy, are they wimpy. They're just battling us with the Pokemon they just caught, right? Many such cases. I remember seeing Fire and Flying's intersection was an X, and I thought the game was saying Charizard was bad. Oh, well, I mean, like I get the little kid logic in that. Devera is a TCG saying reading the game explains the game. Oh yeah, my Sonic evolved. My bird Pokemon want battle with you. Oh, Silence Bridge. Someone brought that up last time. No spoilers next time, okay? I didn't get there yet, okay? No spoilers. Yeah, I think maybe I knew that at some point. I think maybe that like shows up in like a card or something. I'm not sure. I feel like I knew that at some point. Oh yeah, this describes like what kind of trainer class she is. So obviously she's a beauty, right? But she's the one she picks, she likes because of how they look. I don't know anything about Pokemon actually. And the ones I pick, I just pick for their looks. I discussed this online a little bit, and people didn't get what I was saying. I was like, I think trainers mostly just prioritize their theming. I think the fact that they end up as like a similar type is just like a happenstance, right? Like I'm sure some trainers are prioritizing their typing, but like a bug Pokemon trainer isn't specializing in bug types. He's specializing in bug Pokemon, which is like a slight difference, right? A bird keeper is just specializing in birds. Yes, they all happen to be flying as well, but they're not like a flying trainer. They are a bird Pokemon trainer, right? Um, which then extends to like the scientist has sci-fi Pokemon, or not sci-fi, as science Pokemon, right? Like the beauty has Pokemon she thinks are cute. The lass has Pokemon she thinks are cute. The hikers. There's a write up on Bulbapedia that's a really good example of what I mean by the slight difference of like what people are thinking. The hikers have on Bulbapedia, they're like, oh, they typically specialize in this, but sometimes there's exceptions where they have these. I'm like, well, no, it's not an exception because you're thinking about it the wrong way. They aren't specializing in typing; they're specializing Pokemon that you find on a hike, which then means none of them are exceptions, right? Like they're just finding Pokemon that you find on a hike, and so like yeah, it's par for the course when it's a different typing. Which one's the useful screenshot? Oh, the I don't know anything about Pokemon. Speaking of trainer classes, certain classes give different amounts of money as a reward. I believe that. Like, I'm sure the youngster gives you nothing, right? Like, yeah, if there were a bunch of types that happen to be cute looking, then the beauties would use those. It's just that most cute Pokemon are grass normal. Yeah, or like fairy, right? There's a theory on Reddit that theorized that the ground and rock types were recently differentiated, but I think your explanation is better. Yes. Yes. I think I honestly think ground is more of like a. When I think of ground, this is so weird, but I think it's like. To me, ground is like on top of the ground, right? And then rock is like in the ground, or like within the ground. I don't want to say in the ground, but like caves and like, you're getting your hands, you're getting rocks. You know what I mean? You're in the mountains. You're in something. You know what I mean? You're within. That's what within I think is better. You're within your surroundings. Ground is like on the ground, which is why like kaiju's are ground Pokemon. Does that make sense? To me, that's a differentiation. Um, they used the trainer in the Pewter Gym using his Sandslash as evidence. For ground. But it's like sedimentary layer differences. Like the Earth is not like, I mean, yeah, you could technically say it's a bunch of rocks, but it's not like you can dig a hole in the ground. It's not like you're just surrounded by boulders. You know what I mean? Do you see my kaiju earthquake theory, by the way? Speaking of ground, no, I don't think I did. You got those badges from gym leaders, I know. Uh-oh. This game is clearly not made in 2026. I wonder which is stronger, male or female Pokemon. Listen, we all know they're both. I mean, like, I don't think there's a mechanic where they're different. Sedimentary, big man encyclopedia over here. I just okay. Listen, I watched a lot of dinosaurs. There's free. Isn't there like free dinosaur documentaries right now? I saved the bookmark and I forgot to watch them. Or like something with dinosaurs just came out. Oh, on Netflix. Oh, but I don't think it's in Japan yet. That's why I didn't watch it. In fact, female Pokemon were weaker in Gen 2. Like on purpose or on accident? Like how there was like you couldn't technically have a shiny Pokemon if such and such was true. Animals in the wild have gender dimorphism, so I think that's a wild question. I don't know what that means. Encyclopedia over here. So 5 of, I believe, 24 monster egg group hunts from Gen 1 are ground type, which means it has the most representation in the egg group, at least in the game. Okay, I feel like there's more. What's a Pokemon Ranger? Is there a cutoff for discussion? Gym 8? Yes. And we skipped, because I was running low on time because it was finals week, we skipped the first island. So when I'm done streaming this, we're going to end the stream, and then at some point, whether it's immediately after or like tomorrow, we will play the first island. Island 1, whatever it's called. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was intentional or not. That's fair. I don't think he's being sexist. I think In the real world, there are many species with females bigger. Oh, yeah, of course. But I was talking about in the game. My theory is that on that is because kaiju, or dai kaiju in particular, cause the earth to shake when they take a step due to the size. I believe most, not all fully evolved Gen 1 kaiju can learn earthquake. Yes, I agree. Did we talk about this last time? I think that's what I thought as well. I think you must have brought that up. Because to me when I think of ground type, I think of the like the in the kaiju films, like the made up ground, right? Like the stage they're on, right? You know, like the little like play set. They're like, meh, they like blow up the earth or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? They like grab a tree and they're like, bah, you know what I mean? Ultraman's like this, you know? You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's ground type. To me, ground type is that stage. I'm kind of wondering the Slowpoke reasoning outside of being psychic. Oh, the earthquake part? Or just that it's a kaiju? What is blood yapping about? You don't know what I'm talking about? Listen, I've had 2 days of Twitter not knowing what I'm talking about. I don't need it. I don't need it from you guys. Okay. All right. We play it for you. You have watched so much Ultraman with me. Okay, but Taco, please make Poke Babies a thing. They're too cute. I mean, Poke Babies are a thing. They are a thing. They're just not called that. They are absolutely a thing. They're as in like they're a real, like, I don't know if you call it a mechanic, but they're real. Just not the capital B babies, right? Oh, this is cool. It says, look to the left of that post, and there's an item over there that you could click and find. Ella Kid, make a baby Electivire. Like how there's like a baby Pikachu originally. Why did I save this? Oh, just an example of like when you're about to die, the NPCs will often just use quick attack to like finish you off. Teams aren't really rare, but not many people have HMs. Try teaching Pokemon a move that has the same type as it. That apparently boosts the power of the move. Oh, they're teaching you stab? I think that's really cool. Have you heard the legend of the winged mirages? Yes, this is what I mean. We were talking about... Oopsies. We were talking about... the legendary birds having a home. Which, I mean, like, I believe they have a home. Like, you know, a bird's got to have a nest somewhere, right? But this kind of implies they, like, kind of move around, right? Where it's like, oh, I saw one in this spot. You know, like how Ho-Oh appears above Ash in the first episode. He has a Farfetch'd. There are 3 of them. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Oh, this guy wants to fight me as a human being. You know who'd win? You and me one-on-one. I found a Ditto. I caught the Ditto. Oh, he turned into a Farfetch'd. It can freely recombine its own cellular structure to transform into other life forms. Oh, and it's not in the Pokemon lab, which people are like, it's a failed clone of Mew. Does not seem to be that way. Oh, they have starter Pokemon. Gambling chat. Is there a lore reason the legendary bird speaks Spanish? Hee hee hee. This random guy draws massive lore. That happens a lot in this game. So I got enough to buy a Porygon, which, by the way, is great. Using the most advanced technology, scientists finally succeeded in making the first artificial Pokemon, and I feel like it's like the I think there's like 2. How many artificial Pokemon are there? I don't think Genesect counts as like an artificial Pokemon because it's like a cyborg, right? They didn't like create it from nothing. What's up, Nicholas? Nicholas Insky? Nicholas Insky? Nicholas Insky? What's cracking? I think it's just Porygon, right? I mean, obviously the other Porygons. Is there any other artificial Pokemon? This kind of implies that like Magnemite's not artificial. Can you tell if it's the casino is random or the timing actually matters? Timing matters. Cast form is artificial? How are you doing today? Good, how are you? Is cast form artificial? Cast form. Recently, its molecules were found to be just like water. It doesn't sound like it's artificial. Unless there's like, oh, do you mean Rotom maybe? But I don't think Rotom. I think S form was made by scientists. Where are you getting that? Oh, type null in Still Valley. There you go. There's a good one. Taco, will you live stream from the Kanto Poke Park? I don't think you're allowed to film. I think the reason you're not allowed to film is because all of the Pokemon are stationary, like statues. And so I think they want to keep the illusion up. Obviously, the Pokemon at the end of the game are regularly Voltorb. Yeah, but they... well, no, because those aren't. We know those aren't. The scientists were just using cast form for their weather research. Yeah. I don't think they were... There's nothing in their Pokedex entry that says they're artificial. At least not the ones I read. I only read like 3 generations worth. Yeah, Voltorb is not artificial. It's copying something artificial, but we actually don't know what it looks like. The Pokedex entry, especially in this game, is basically like, oh, Mewtwo's artificial. No. It depends what they mean by artificial, right? Yeah, it depends what they mean by artificial. Is cloning artificial? Well, yes, but no. Right? I think it's just Porygon and Still Valley. I think yes, and that it wouldn't exist without human intervention. Yeah, but I feel like that's a lot of Pokemon, and those don't apparently count according to Porygon. Like, I think Magnemite only exists because of human intervention. Grimer kind of only exists because of a human intervention. It's like the moonbeams, right? Well, it considers cast form artificial for whatever that's worth. Can you link or just copy and paste? I'm super down to learn. I'm not the people on Twitter that are like, new information, I will not adjust. I'm just gonna control F artificial and see what happens. Cast form is an artificial Pokemon that changes appearance. And attitude based on the weather. There's no link. Various experiments were conducted to change its form in artificial conditions. That's not the same thing. Given cast form's artificial origins and designed to predict weather. Okay, well, there's a whole page of artificial Pokemon. Baltoy and Claydol? I think their definition of artificial is different. Cast form was created by scientists at the Weather Institute in Hoenn to help predict the weather. There you go. Okay, well, we'll do that in Gen 3. So there you go. So cast form seems to, without checking, cast form seems to be artificial. But I don't think their definition, Bulbapedia's definition, is the same as the game's definition. Because it's like, oh, this doll came to life, which is like 3 of them. This trash came to life. Grimer came to life. Why is Grimer not in this? Genesect came to life. Golett and Golurk feel like those are artificial Pokemon. Ironically, Porygon is not in this? Why is Porygon not in this? Why is Porygon not listed in this? That's so weird. I must have skipped by it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is what I have issues with. Okay, until the rediscovery of Golett, Porygon was thought to be the first Pokemon created deliberately. It's the first Pokemon deliberately created. By the way, this is kind of what I mean. Is like, so Bulbapedia is like written by fans, and I've been on the other side. And it's like a couple hundred people or whatever, just like debating on the wording and how you should use it. This sounds like, what can we do to differentiate Porygon from the other Pokemon while still making them seem like the same thing? And I'm not sure that's correct. Because if Game Freak hasn't taken the time to differentiate them, then are they different? Are they the same thing? Please Pokemon release RSE and eShop. I would love that. Pokemon Ranger. I can't read the rest of that kanji. Tago-chan wa Nihongo ga haneseru? No. I couldn't read the haneseru. I could read the ru. He's at the top, unless you're looking at a different page. Yes, he was on the top. I just skipped past it. So Magearna is considered the artificial Pokemon. See, like Magearna, I would argue is artificial. But like, lumping Mewtwo in artificial Pokemon, it's in the same game as this. So, and they do differentiate it. So either Mewtwo was created after Porygon, which I think is possible, or they don't consider it artificial in the same type of artificial way. Because like Porygon's wholly created. It's not like this but this, right? Wait, I love this convo. Are we not talking about it? Whenever you say something obvious, interesting about Pokemon, it's like people finding their favorite dinosaurs probably had feathers. Yes. It's type null, not a chimera. Oh yeah, I figured the implication was that Porygon is fully original, not based on the DNA of existing Pokemon. But that's the. I mean, like, we would just need to keep playing Pokemon games, right? We would just need to be doing this type of book club thing forever, for all Pokemon games, to like figure out if there's a differentiation between what they mean. Yeah, confusing. Your pronunciation is good. I'm good at pretending like I know what I'm saying, which I guess is all it takes, right? I've just heard enough Japanese in my life that I know how like the sounds are supposed to sound like, even if I don't know what I'm saying. We'll put a pin in this. That's half of language. Yes. I do feel like there's so many times I'm like in class, I'm like, I'm gonna cheat on this test by learning all the answers ahead of time. It's like, oh, studying. That's what like half of my classes felt like. There was like a paper that we're supposed to write, and they gave us the prompt and like the topic, and I was like, I'm gonna cheat on this by going home and pre-writing everything and then memorizing it. And it really, like, even though I know it wasn't cheating, like, even on the day, I like had the nerves like I was cheating. I was like, that's just how studying is. Wouldn't Trubbish technically be man-made? Maybe incidentally. But the thing is, there's so many Pokemon, including Magnemite, right, that are clearly not labeled as the same thing as Porygon. It's got to be like intention, right? Like Magnemite still have like a degree of like nature got involved somehow. Do you know what I mean? Or like happenstance got involved somehow. Grimer is like the moonbeams, right? tricking yourself into learning. I think I just hate. I never studied growing up, ever. Not. I mean, like I'm once or twice, but like I can't concentrate on studying. And when my parents would make me study, it would be like hours before I can get through like the first paragraph on anything. And so like now that I'm trying like my darndest to study, which I still don't do very often, but like I care, right? Like now it's like, oh, something I'm willingly doing, right? It does feel like I'm tricking myself into studying. Teacher's gonna say he's writing too cleverly. He wrote this at home. Yeah, well, I mean, like, I did feel like that because I failed the test before. There was a completely separate problem from studying. We had a speaking test, or like a natural conversation test, and I panicked. I like the teacher asked me something that was like somewhat off script. It was like a word I didn't remember, and so like the direction of the conversation just came to a halt because I'm like, I don't know what to answer. I don't know what you asked me, so I don't know where to go next. And she wouldn't like backtrack. It's like she was like committed to what we were talking about. So like the conversation just over. Like I knew what I could say, but I like panicked. I was like, it's so bad. So then to go from that to be like to then pass the next test because I memorized it all, it did kind of feel like cheating. Isn't there a Shinto thing where everything has a soul, which would probably explain the origin of inanimate Pokemon? Oh, maybe. What are you studying now? Nothing. I'm on break. In fact, I'm going to go back and I think re-study the entire class. The last things we were doing was, I think like, if this happened, then this will happen. If this is the case, kara, then this will happen. Or no, it wasn't kara. It was teimo, I think. I don't know. I'd have to go check again. It was like it's like putting I don't even remember what the English word is. Listen, I wasn't prepared for this conversation. I didn't go memorize the whole thing ahead of time. It's putting two like sentences together, right? Like if thens. Tada? Yes. Yes, that was the last thing. Yep, that was the last thing we did. Might also include the ice cream Pokemon Vanilla and ice cream Pokemon Milk and cream Pokemon Milkry as unintentionally and artificial. I think the ice cream Pokemon came first. In that case, in that specific case, I think the ice cream Pokemon came first. Yeah, I think Tada is what we just studied. Maybe. No, actually, I'm pretty confident that is the last thing we studied. And then it was finals time for the last 2 weeks. Okay. I have to exercise and warm up. Okay. Oh, I really don't like this part of the game. Because it's just like, it feels like you're back at the beginning of the game where everything's like the same type. I'm sure there's some way to have some variation here. Why did I... How traumatic. I'm looking to see to forget the bad thing that happened. We traumatized this guy. I tried diving Pokemon, but it was a no-go. I wonder if that's like that was an original game or a Gen 3 reference. Because you get just diving in Gen 3. Oh, first Pokemon I fished up was a Gyarados. I didn't know you could fish up a Gyarados. To me, Gyarados are just like an evolution reward only, right? Oh, I didn't realize this is what agility was. The user relaxes and lightens its body to sharply boost its speed. I did not know that's what agility was. That feels very like lore heavy. Never go this way. I always go back hometown. Oh, that's so smart. I never thought of doing that. They don't feel like a wild Pokemon, Gyarados. Or yeah, or just like insanely rare, which I bet it was. It just felt less rare because I caught it first. But yeah, I don't think I ever knew that. Oh, I'm looking after my brother. He just became a trainer. Again, more proof that you don't have to be a 10-year-old, right? Because that's like a little baby right there. Remember the anime where Quick Attack and Agility were essentially the same? Yes. They were animated slightly different, at least in the beginning. I think agility was like, right? Messed me up as a kid. Yeah, agility not being an attack is kind of a bummer. My legs, they cramped up. He died. Shocker. My boyfriend wanted to swim in the Seafoam Islands. Oh, we were discussing this. Seafoam Islands are Enoshima, which is like a little vacation spot. That's what people assume it is. And like I've been to Enoshima, and that's what it is. But it's like a little vacation spot, and like all the dialogue is people like traveling to this as like a vacation spot. So it's like, oh yeah, it probably is that in real life then. Like that's all people talk about. Lots of people swimming. Yeah, vacationing here. Oh, there's a cabin underneath the island, which is also in Enoshima in real life. Strong. Oh, this is some lore. Strong trainers and water Pokemon are common sights in these parts. They say that Misty of the Cerulean Gym trains here. And then there's Seafoam Islands, which are split, which I think is cool. You could like enter them in different directions. Again, I didn't know that. Want to float with me? No. Fast current. I forgot about this. Really cool mechanics. Ooh, what's this say? No. Okay, same thing. Yeah, I forgot that was... Like, I knew it was in the cave, but I forgot it was right there. There's Articuno, one of the legendary bird Pokemon with its long tail tailing behind. Its flying form is magnificent. See, are you on vacation too? What? Why did I record that? No idea. The user reduces his polygon count to sharpen and attacks at rate. Yeah, I think that's really cool. So sharpen is like literally like. I wonder if other Pokemon can learn sharpen. I forget, but it reduces its polygon count. My pearls were in them. Pokemon have taken over the abandoned mansion in Cinnabar. They call it the Pokemon Mansion now. Has a lab for Pokemon. My daddy works there. Wait, you're supposed to wait. Cinnabar is a volcanic island. I heard it rose out of the sea when a volcano erupted. There is no... I think in Gen 2... Well, anyways. Do you have a lot of friends? So yeah, this is just something I knew just by like circumstance, but Union Room is supposed to be like, so you like hang out with people like in real life, like a lot of people. But like that never happened in the US. I think I got my classmates to do it once. No, I definitely did. Burned out mansion. The gym leader's friend used to live there, they say. Scientists conduct experiments in the burned out building. You know, the one they call the Pokemon Mansion. So the Pokemon Lab, doors locked. Leader Blaine, hot-headed quizmaster. Quite the odd fellow. He lived in the island since way before the lab was built. I feel like it is just the unfortunate circumstances of limited creatures. Like there are non-water types and later gens that live in the water, but NPCs being not league trainers means they're not just swimming with their pets or whatever they just caught. Yeah, no, I agree. Servers also give you very little money, presumably because they can't carry much with the swimming. Oh, that's fun. Don't let Twitter know that the trainer's vacation in Kanto. It's Gen 1 pandering. Oh, but the thing is, like, Enoshima, I think, is like a local vacation spot. Like, that's like where you go on the weekend. It's like a weekend, or not, it's like a day trip kind of thing. We've studied Pokemon extensively every day. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination. A photo of the lab's founder, Dr. Fuji. By the way, speaking of which, we have... Oh, no. Oh, I didn't plan this out at all. I'm an idiot. Oh, well, you know. Hold on, chat. Um, I think we'll have to do this afterwards. What is this? Oh, I have all these images and some of them from the week before. We'll just have to come back to them. They're on the wrong scene. They're supposed to be on this scene, but they're on the wrong scene. So we'll just have to come back to them at the end. Recall thinking I need to beat the Elite Four to get the Fossumon back alive. Whoa. Obviously you don't need to, so that's interesting. The Dr. Fuji thing hit my jaw on the floor because I don't remember that at all. Really? That's fun. And that's why we don't spoil anything. Casley's Dex entry casually mentioned India. Like in the Poke Earth. I mean, it is. It is. Because this is just Earth. That's the, I mean, like, I already knew this, but like that's a really big takeaway from this book club, is that this is just Earth. I mean, like they were moving away from Earth at this point, but it is just Earth, yeah. I like that you can actually see a little human being in that picture. Side note, but I do want an Indian-inspired region. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. Yeah, it's just a guy. I mean, like Spain. No offense to Spain. I'm Spaniard, so no offense to Spain. But like Spain isn't like number 5 on the list of places to visit. Do you know what I mean? Spain is beautiful and awesome and cool and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, you don't. It's not like high on people's lists for like destinations, right? I mean, some people obviously. Actually, for me, it is. But my point is like, they don't pick regions totally based on just like what is the next most popular. I do think they were doing that at the beginning, right? But like, I feel like the door's open for any region. And to me, India is like, has like, you know, very unique not scenery, but like things to see, right? To me, India is like a higher destination than Spain is, right? Like way higher. India is in a top 5, right? So like what I'm saying is, if they're going to do Spain, right? If they're going to do and again, this is not reflecting in my views, if they're going to do, do they say SEA? If they're gonna do like the Philippines, right? Which I'd love to visit the Philippines. It's very like, not beachy, but like really, 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 really pretty, right? And I think a lot of people here in Japan vacation to the Philippines. But if they're gonna do those places, I don't see why India is like even a question. They'll absolutely do it, right? Canada, yeah, but Canada's like not top 5 either. I've heard Spain is fun for people in the EU because it's easy to go to. That's fair. Went to uni in the Ikebukuro district, and so I would visit Tokyo Mega Center in Sunshine City. There were always a bunch of people playing Pokemon there. You should take your Switch Union Room. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually smart. Very humid and green. Yeah, but that's awesome. Not the humid part. An Indian region would be crazy difficult, but I still want it. Yeah, I just think it's. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is there's like places that are like lower on the obvious list than India, right? And therefore India is like super possible, on top of them mentioning it for decades, right? So yeah, I'm not worried about India showing up at all. India will definitely happen. I think now that they're doing like, again, I think Spain is a really good example because it's just not an obvious pick. I think everything's on the table now. Right, like we'll get a Turkey region. We'll get a Turkey region. I can't think of it. I can't think of anything else that's like as not obvious as Turkey, other than places I can't think of because they're not obvious at all. Right. Yeah. That's as good. No, we'll get a China region easily. I want Brazil. Brazil is obvious to me. Isn't Winds and Waves based on SEA? Yes. Yes. Is it SEA? As in like, that's how you say it? feel like China region would happen. Yeah, to me, there's no place that's off limits now. I think if anything, honestly, I think the thing they'll run into problems with is like repeating biomes too much. Right? Like there's only so many times you can do like we're talking like 30 years from now, right? 50 years from now. If Pokemon's still going, right? Like at some point they're going to be like, "Oh, it's like vaguely different beach region again." Right? And like obviously like the cultural differences will make that different. But by basing them on real life places, I feel like your biomes start becoming limited after a while. Give me Mexico. Eagle and serpent mascot legendaries, and they fuse to the Quetzalcoatl. Okay. China, Russia, and Egypt would all be high on my list too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We also have the option of intergalactic region. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like they'll be fine. You know, it's not a real worry of mine, right? I just mean like, like Spain and Greece are obviously different, right? But like if we had Greece, because they had like kind of teased what we thought was Greece, it actually might be winds and waves. But they in your house there was like a Greece picture. Like obviously that specific town will be significantly different, but I feel like it's you start overlapping at some point. Winds and Waves reminds me of Hoenn. See, to me, it doesn't remind me of Hoenn at all. What's the option of it? Oh, no, I already read that. Yeah, anyways, long story short, I think India is like a shoe-in. I feel we'll get India eventually. China will eventually get. All of the obvious places we'll still get. Because we've already done slightly less obvious places. Again, I think Spain is a destination place, just not like the top of the list of people. Isn't the PLA professor from India? I don't remember. He's from Galar. But I remember if he mentions he's like also from the Indian region. But he's from Galar. He mentions elephants too. Yeah. I think he is from India. I did a whole video on this. I just remember if I'm crossing my T's, or crossing my wires here. He's absolutely from Galar, but I think he is also from the India region. In fact, I'm just surprised we haven't done that yet. The more we talk about this, that he was Galar. Yeah, he's from Galar, but I mean, like I'm from the U.S., but like if I traveled from somewhere from here, I'd be from Japan. You know what I mean? Meeting room. Do you happen to have a Raichu? I don't get why people want to trade so much in this area. I found this most remarkable fossil of Mount Moon. I think it's a rare prehistoric Pokemon. Do you have Venonat? I traded. Tangy. Thanks, you're a pal. How's my old Tangela? My Venonat is doing great. Sassy. Oh, her name's Norma. An amber pipe. I don't get this. What is this? What is the amber pipe, chat? I'm Googling. Is it the like, this pipe is not real or something? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Amber pipe science. No clue. Oh, are we all talking about this is not a pipe? Cisnes pipe? Pipe? I assume that's what that is. Yes. Yes. Jurassic Park reference, I believe. Really? What would it be? I don't remember that in Jurassic Park. Who's smoking a pipe? Amber pipe plus oil amber mirror Aerodactyl. I see my search as smoking pipes. Yeah. Put a pin in that. It's obviously something. They made like a unique thing for it. You know what I mean? An amber pipe. Hey, I'll teach you a nifty move. Teach it to a Pokemon to watch the fun unfold. It's a move called metronome. I want to teach my Snorlax metronome. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. Email message. There are 3 legendary bird Pokemon. There are Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Their whereabouts are unknown. We plan to explore the cavern close to Cerulean. From the Pokemon research team. Very cool. Why do they want to trade so much? What's the context of them all wanting to trade? I feel like if we trade them all, we'd actually understand. Has anyone traded them? Never mind, my mind doesn't remember things wrong. No worries. Maybe we should all, like, someone should each trade one of them. Yeah, I'm an important doctor. Actually, no, I'm not going to repeat this guy's stuff. This might be racist. Like, actually. If Red didn't say what he said, it might not be racist. But this is actually racist. So he talks in a funny voice. And he's like weird. It's the weird doctor. And then like the joke is that like he's like, I don't know, like not annoying, but like unreasonable or something. We're gonna find them. Where was the part where it became obvious? It was regenerated from dinosaurs' genetic matter and was found in amber. Flies with high-pitched cries. It was regenerated from a fossil, an ancient creature. Protects itself with its hard shell. Well, maybe I didn't take a screenshot of it, which is probably good. But he does the whole, like, Jackie Chan Adventures, the old man, what's his name? Grandpa or whatever? Uncle? Uncle. It's very clear he's, like, a foreign person. I always just read that dialogue in my own voice. That never clicked for me. Good. Yeah, he goes... Well, I'm not going to do it. Doing it on an accent's one thing. Doing it on purpose is another thing. Escape rope. Yes. So, very clearly, like, in, like, you know... Like, you know, this game is of its time. Whatever. But, like, you know, it did not hold up. The original red and green, there were many amber pipes. Maybe one for each scientist. Things imply that they smoked tobacco in the lab. I mean, like, I get that. We'll have to play that. We'll have to see. It's gotta be like a reference to something. Because they made unique sprites for it. Oh, the light, the eyes turn on. That's obviously a new thing for this, right? Right? What is this for? Oh, I'm taking a picture of the eyes turning on. Ah, you startled me. I thought you were a ghost. I was exploring here by myself, but I feel spooked. I had to go soon. Thin balloon-like bodies inflated by horrible toxic gases. Reeks when it's nearby. I wonder if that's based on Balloonga, or whatever it's called in Ultraman. I think Jigglypuff is also based on Balloonga. I think they're both based on Balloonga. But like there is a thing that is this in Ultraman. Pipes in literary analysis represents common tradition combined with the sun and protected symbolism of amber. It can represent yeah, okay. Hey, you know what? I'm glad you're thinking. I'm glad you're thinking. That's all that matters. It says it's a puzzle, which this one is more of a puzzle than Silphco was, but it's still very much a building, which I think is really cool. There's a bunch of burglars here. Diary, July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. July 10th, we christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. Wheezing, super cool. Mew gave birth. February 6th, and we named the newborn Mewtwo. I think it is. I think it did come or give birth. I think it is like classic cloning. That's how cloning works in real life, right? So I think it's actually cloning. I don't think that's like a incorrect thing. I think people only want it to be incorrect because they want it to line up with the anime. So they're actually able to capture Mew. It sounds like it. Or get it enough to get its like DNA and then put it into something else, right? But like, what is the other? It doesn't imply something else. So I assume, yeah, it is just Mew. They just had Mew gave birth, right? This place is like huge. Sludge exposed to X-rays from the moon transformed to Grammar. So classic sci-fi. Love this. This is so cool. It loves feeding on filthy things. X-rays from the moon is like 1950s sci-fi. I love that so much. X-rays from the moon. You know what I mean? Sludge exposed to X-rays from the moon transformed into Grimer. My mentor once lived here. Well, we don't think we learned who this is. I assume Fuji. The Pokemon TCG Pocket implies Mewtwo made this hole, which makes sense. What was this? And why am I? Whee! That's why. Okay. Oh, we got Stardust from the Tangela, which makes sense because like a scientist is doing it, so they're like doing something with Stardust. Aki, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and this is areas all fine. So obviously, like, only the floor above and above got damaged, right? Put the amber pipe on a shelf, symbolizing them putting tradition on a shelf, sidelining the protection of tradition, dedicating themselves to science, leading to the disaster of the mansion. Did you make that up? Or the curtains are just blue? Okay. No, it's definitely for something, and I really am encouraging thinking about it. I found a Ditto in here. The thing is, I found a Ditto in another area. I don't know if that's true in the original games. So this is something we're gonna put a pin in. I don't want to know. I don't know the answer to that. We'll find that out when we play. But I don't buy the Ditto failed clone. I do buy the Ditto being like a failed experiment. Symbolism is real, but all the fun is interpretation. Yeah. There's an answer. We'll get there. I would love to find all the items in here. You can find stuff lying around. The residents must have left them. Residents. Crazy. I wonder who, like, it's more than one person. Ditto Mew clone is officially debunked, I believed. How so? But I do think it's like a failed experiment. I do think it's like, the equivalent of Grimer being alive due to X-rays, right? September 1st, Mewtwo is far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. Mewtwo is a bad guy in this. The place is ideal for a lab. Look at all this space. I like it here. It's conducive to my studies. Secret key. Solar beam. Yeah, I found a Ditto. Yeah, I found a Ditto. Someone high up in Game Freak said it was inaccurate if I recall correctly. Okay. Champ Lemaine, the hot-headed Blaine, is a fire Pokemon pro. Douse his spirits with water. I was a thief, but I went straight as a trainer. I get this uncontrollable urge to steal other people's Pokemon. I think it was Turbo Dog. Said that, oh, he employs formerly bad people, right? Oh, this one's funny. He says, do you know how hot Pokemon Fire Breath can get? And he starts explaining it to me. And this is Red talking. GG Mystery, good morning. Ohio. He starts explaining it. He's like, fire, or to be more precise, combustion, oxygen in the air, like ... blah, 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 blah. So Red is tuning out. He's like, I don't care about any of this. There are 9 certified Pokemon League badges. So there are more than 9 badges. Sorry, there are more than 8 badges, but only 8 are certified, which again makes sense. Right? We've been talking about this the entire playthrough. It definitely sounds like there's more than 8 badges, but only 8 will get you to the Pokemon League, and it sounds like it's the top 8. So it sounds like there's like a hierarchy, right? Wow, my studies were insufficient. My theories are too complicated for you to understand. I gotta use that for something. I answered them all correctly, but I also just battled everybody anyways. Oh, the burglar says, I wish there were a thief Pokemon. I'd just use that. So his team, like, his team doesn't, like, super reflect what he is, and then he, like, mentions that, which I think is funny. What is this for, I wonder? Oh, he says, I know my Blaine became a trainer. Our leader Blaine became lost in the mountains, but good. Oh, this doesn't make any sense. That should be on your Twitter bio. Get this Amanda Galler. The Red Princess Peach video. My theories are too complicated for you to understand. Yes. Yes, I agree. Our leader, this doesn't make any sense as a sentence. We were talking about this for a while. Our leader Blaine became lost in the mountains, but good. That's got to be a typo. Our leader Blaine became lost in the mountains, but good. Night fell when a fiery bird Pokemon appeared. Its light allowed Blaine to find his way down safely. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Right? Sorry, my side itches. Postponing this conversation? Like on the inside. You know what I mean? Like when... Like, when it's like not the place you're scratching. It just means like lost a lot. Not like for good. Our leader Blaine became lost in the mountains for good. You know what I mean? I think it's a figure of speech. Okay, chat, hold on. It's like an itch on the inside, and I maybe it's not in the spot I'm itching. You know what I'm talking about? Like when it's like when your foot itches and you're like, it's not where I'm scratching. It's like on the inside of my foot. Or like the inside of your hand, and then you have to like bite your hand. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, I'm not the only one that's experienced this, right? That's a horrible itch, yes. Yeah, I wonder if there's anything like he was really lost. Yeah, I kind of get that. Just by the rest of the context. I wonder if there's like more to this story. But good means like thoroughly. Okay, all right. It's like you need to jab yourself for relief. Yes, exactly. It's anyways. I wonder if there's like a reason he's in the mountains, or this is just like a he just was hiking. Like, you know, there's a lot of ways you could like fill in the blanks, but like we're trying our best not to fill in the blanks, right? Like, oh, this is after the Cinnabar Mansion burned down, so he like escaped through the mountains, or oh, he was originally part of Team Rocket and he escaped in the mountains, or he was hiking and he escaped. He was in the mountains. You know what I mean? Like, what is? Why is he in the mountains? You know what I mean? Could the period be a typo? It's supposed to say "Good night fell with a fiery bird." Yeah, maybe. Hammer pipe could be a sign of warning influence. A fossil plus the associated pipe with influence. I'm going to think about this pipe forever. Please do. Anyways, put a pin in this. I think we're just going to put a pin in this one. Night fell when a fiery Pokemon appeared. Okay. Pokemon quiz. Same kind of level or not. What? Pokemon of the same kind and level are not identical, and they aren't. And that's correct, right? Yeah, Ivy's and Eevees totally ruined all this. I've mentioned this a million times, but they keep hammering home that your Pokemon's supposed to be unique, and now we have Pokemon champions coming out, and you can just adjust that. It's like, why do they even exist at that point? If everyone's just gonna adjust them in the same 5 ways, right? Just have like 5 presets. Tombstoney, that's funny. It's a photo of Blaine and Mr. Fuji. They're standing shoulder to shoulder with big grins. Oh, they're best buds. Anyways, you learn Mr. Fuji is like a guy involved with this stuff, right? So obviously he like set his life straight afterwards, and he lives in Lavender Town and volunteers now, right? And so like you assume the same thing is going on with Blaine. And so that's why I was like, oh, maybe that's why he's in the mountains. Like something happened and he's in the mountains now, and then he like turned straight by becoming a trainer, right? Because he's been here before all the Pokemon Mansion Lab stuff appeared. There's like clearly a story here in the same way there's been a story in other things. I just can't quite figure out like exactly how it all fits together. Interesting that the anime has Dr. Fuji being the one who cloned Mewtwo. The manga has Blaine be the one who cloned Mewtwo. I think they're working together. I think it's both of them. It's still crazy a memory hold Dr. Fuji because I played this game a lot as a kid. I think a lot of people did. I think both of them made Mewtwo. I think that's the implication. So I don't think it's incorrect. Either of them are incorrect. Well, no, never mind. That's a different game. Just find it interesting they split them off like that. That's fair. No, that's fair. Oh, I get invited to... Listen, since we met up here, how about spending time with me? There's this little island in the far south called One Island, and I didn't do it, so we're not talking about this. A friend invited me, so I'm on my way there. How about it? Do you feel like coming with me? No. What? Are you too busy? Well, all right. The boat hasn't arrived yet anyway. I'll be waiting at the Pokemon Center over there. Come see me when you're done with your business here. Sea's great. I like the mountains too. Oh, this kid is like encouraging his sister to lose weight, which I feel like is a very real thing. Maybe just doesn't hold up as well. People talk a lot about weight since I've gotten here in Japan, to me as well. So like, I can imagine 20 years ago it was a lot less. It was more, people were more comfortable talking about it than they are now, and now it's still a lot. Oh, the fisherman's sending out the Magikarp. He's like, Magikarp just don't make the grade, do they? I seem to only catch Magikarp. So yeah, it's not like he has a team of Magikarp because he wants to. We caught him on a day where he just keeps catching Magikarp. Oh, there's like a Tangela patch. I think that's really interesting. It's just like one little spot where there's a bunch of Tangela. No one says anything differently. Obviously, Oak says something differently because I got more Pokemon. Oh, we learned that the guy on the Teachy TV is his grandson. It's my grandson on the show. Since he's the one doing the teaching, you're bound to learn. Viridian City Gym Leader returned. Champ of the making. Even I don't know the Viridian Leader's identity. He is the toughest of all the gym leaders. Oh, they all like ground type. So again, I don't think like I think it is they are ground type, but I don't think like that's what his team actually is, and we'll get to that in a second. Oh, Green has beaten him, which will come up in the story portion in a second. Remember as a kid reading online that you could find Wild Bulbasaur in that Tangela patch, and I believed it, so I spent days looking for one. I think that's fun. That's awesome. I love that. I don't like it anymore, but I loved that. Don't get cocky. Oh, yeah, it's like a little gauntlet of people. You can go the wrong way and face a bunch of trainers, and then have like you think you're going the shorter way. You face a bunch of trainers, and you have to go back. The gym leader, the leader will scold me for losing this way. I feel like this is like toned down. So yeah, you go the wrong way, and then you can't get past him. And so you have to go back through to the gauntlet, which I already beaten, but you would have had to have been forced through it, right? Of like those 3 trainers. Welcome to my hideout. It shall be you so until I can restore Team Rocket to its former glory. So beating Team Rocket itself, dude, Robot, hello. Why do we think that gym trainers don't really match Giovanni's theme? I'll explain in a second. So beating them at Selfco like ruined their organization somehow? I mean, you did technically stop him from his plan. So I think we have discovered that up until this point, he's been getting rare Pokemon. Like increasingly more rare Pokemon. And then he was after a specific, like, I wouldn't say a specific. He was after a Pokemon he could catch with the Master Ball. And that's what we stop him from getting, right? You can kind of, I don't think there's a ton of, I mean, we haven't gotten there yet. I don't think there's a ton of like direct evidence, but you can kind of assume the Pokemon he's after because of, you know, like the context of the game is Mewtwo, right? Even up to the point where we're at right now, it seems like he's trying to go for Mewtwo. The Master Ball is for Mewtwo, and so like stopping him from getting the Master Ball saves the day. But the thing is, like, that didn't really, like, you're not like hurting him or anything. It maybe embarrassed him a little bit, maybe like sidetrack his plans. But like for him to be like, oh, Team Rocket's down in the dumps, we have to restore its glory. I didn't quite get that. I shouldn't say I get it. I do get it. I didn't quite like I feel like the outcome didn't match what we did to them. Does that make sense? Like, they don't seem equal. Like, yeah, he'd be embarrassed, but like maybe not nothing. There was a Team Rocket member stationed at the Nugget Bridge, very close to Cerulean Cave. Yeah, but I feel like it's more Nugget Bridge related. And I don't think we know Mewtwo's in there yet. Currently shiny hunting any of these starters in Soul Silver. At 450 resets. How many till you get it? 452. Look forward to it. I guess what I'm just saying is, like, beating him at Selfco doesn't seem like you would ruin their entire organization, right? I have a fuzzy. I can feel it, but I can't see it. Maybe I got it. But you found me again, so be it. This time I'm not holding back. Once more you shall face Giovanni, the greatest trainer. All his Pokemon are... Oops, I guess I didn't... Well, his Pokemon are Kaiju. I think that's what's most important. I obviously didn't take screenshots of all of them, but his Pokemon are all Kaiju. I think, like, to me, Kaiju are like the ultimate forms of Pokemon, right? That's what Pokemon started, and then like so at the end they're all kaiju. And so like that's kind of what I mean by like his trainer, his gym people don't totally match that leading up to it. Is that I don't think his theme is ground Pokemon. I think he has a lot of ground Pokemon, but I think his theme is kaiju, which happen to be ground Pokemon. Giovanni's so good, then why is there no Giovanni 2? The prophecy wasn't fulfilled. Nah. He has to beat him. Woohoo! That was a truly intense fight. You have won. As proof, here's your Earth badge. With it, you can challenge the Pokemon League. Also take the exam. By the way, you don't get this part of the story if you don't talk to him again. Very fascinated by the mention of Giovanni making an Earthquake TM himself. But to me, that makes sense because he's a kaiju guy. And yeah, like Errol had mentioned in the past, I think Earthquake is an association with kaiju. I think it is the kaiju TM. TM26 contains Earthquake. It is a powerful attack that causes a massive tremor. I made it when I ran the gym here far too long ago. And I also think like earthquakes are a big thing in Japan. So like that, like it all kind of just like meshes together, right? I made it when I ran the gym here far too long ago. Having lost in this fashion, I can't face my followers. I've betrayed their trust. So this, more so than the implication that gym leaders make the TMs they hand out. I think it's more of just like you can the Pokemon moves back in this point are not the like energy like physical energy beam attacks they are nowadays. Pokemon moves used to be a lot more grounded, so Tail Whip is just whipping your tail. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like a representation of a tail shows up and it's like an energy tail and it like goes back and forth, right? It is just whipping your tail. So I think Earthquake is just like a skill you made up and then made like a training video about. Do you see what I'm saying? It's one of those that again, it's one of the many reasons I'm like Gen 1 is like the Pokemon game people wish existed up until Arceus came out, because everyone's like, oh, I want like a grounded Pokemon game where the Pokemon are scary and bad things happen. It's like, well, that's Gen 1. You know, like I want a grounded one. His team is always primarily Monster Egg group, even though other ground types exist. Yes. I thought the TMs and HMs were made by Sylph. There was a reason I thought that, but I don't remember now. Oh, we'll come back to us on that. When I did my Giovanni cosplay in December, I did not know all this. It's just a happy coincidence. Yeah, that's very you. If you guys don't know, Errol has written many articles, but I feel like they're all like monster catching themed. Not all, but you know what I mean. Like a large majority of them are monster catching themed. I used to assume the Pokemon would just eat the TMs. I mean, kind of. I feel like that shorthand they kind of do. There might be some truth to them literally sucking it up in their forehead, right? The point is, it's just like data, right? So yeah, he's like his team is kaiju, not ground type. And to me, that's like the pinnacle of Gen 1 Pokemon, right? So I'll like complain about this every once in a while. Like we've lost some aspect of Pokemon where they were all kaiju. Even like the kaiju-esque Pokemon nowadays are like exceptions rather than like the rule, right? Pokemon don't turn into monsters anymore. I was talking about how I might go with Pommekin, I think is what it's called. The dog starter in Gen 10. Paxcalibur isn't part of the Monster Egg group? That's so weird. That is like genuinely weird. But like Pommekin has like the highest chance of turning into a monster. But that doesn't mean it's going to turn into a monster. None of the starters could turn into a monster, right? They could all just be animals still. Even in Yellow, they replaced one of his Pokemon with Dugtrio. So they already kind of abandoned that idea. Maybe that was like a Pikachu play. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you guaranteed to have Pikachu, and therefore we're giving you a Pokemon you can't hurt. Actually, no. Gen 9 Pokemon are in the Monster. No Gen 9 Pokemon are in the Monster Egg group. I mean, but they still had like Kaiju Mania trainers, so it's not like they forgot about it. Or maybe the reason they have Kaiju Mania trainers is because they forgot about it. But anyways, yeah, like I get him being like like shamed into not showing his followers, but like the in between this battle and stopping him at Silphco, it just doesn't feel like that's, you know, you would crash their whole system just because you beat them once, right? Brand is the wrong word, more so weren't beholden to it. I still think his thing is kaiju stuff. Whenever they show him, it's still kaiju stuff. I think what's more taken place is that got deprioritized by the mob boss aspect. You know, like now he's associated with Persian, not, you know, because he's like a mob boss, not Nidoking. Does that make sense? But the Nidoking part is important because that feeds into the actual story of the game, which is that he's looking for rare, strong Pokemon, which just happen to be all kaiju, right? Maybe kaiju is not the right word, like, because, you know, he's looking for Mewtwo too. I feel like it's like the Ultraman Pokemon, right? Because Mewtwo is like a very Ultraman-esque Pokemon, a very sci-fi Pokemon. Glad Masters EX still associates with Nidoking. Yeah, I think he's still associated with Nidoking. I just mean, like, the public perception has leaned more towards the anime of Giovanni than it. Like, I feel like people aren't even don't even know why he's associated with. Like, if you asked him, if I put it on Twitter right now, I'd have a bunch of people angry in my comments, being like, "Nah, he's associated with Mewtwo and Persian. What are you talking about?" I'm like, no, he's into kaiju. I miss Pocket Monsters. Me too. As of today, Team Rocket's finished forever. Like, I get this. He's been humiliated by you twice. I get that. But again, I don't get the whole, like, Team Rocket was, like, on its last leg just before this fight. I don't get that. But, I mean, it's a Game Boy game. I shall dedicate my life to trading again. The nice thing is he's not actually, like, given up. It's like almost like you've inspired him. Like, he has your respect. We'll have to rewatch Pokemon Origins. I feel, we should do that. Chat. Okay. I've been pushing this a lot lately, but I'm going to push it again. You're a genius. I can't believe I never even considered that. When this is over, I think we'll have a lore library, my Patreon Discord. I think we should have a lore library meeting of Pokemon Origins. I didn't even think of that. That's so smart. He's lost to Green hurt the most. Yeah, oh yeah, that's the other thing, is like, why didn't Green... That's why I was like, put a pin in this, because we'll talk about it in a second. Why didn't losing to Green do anything to him? Do you know what I mean? Why didn't that do anything to him? He lost to Green already. And he's like, whatever. But then you beat him. He's like, oh, that's the end. Granted, I kind of think gym leaders are like... I wonder if there's like maybe because he only lost to Green once. Yeah. But I mean, like, if a bunch of kids are running around beating you up all the time. You know what I mean? I also kind of think gym leaders are like meant to lose. You know, you think to Pokemon Origins and... Well, no spoilers for Pokemon Origins. Never mind. Well, I mean, kind of. It's kind of related to this. Let's just say, like, if you're the top 8 gyms, it is weird that Brock has only, like, level 5 Pokemon, right? If you're the top 8 gyms in the world, or in Japan, right? It is a bit weird that Brock only has small Pokemon. So, like, I think gym leaders are, like, you're almost supposed to, like, let people win. You're supposed to be teachers. Yeah, but, like, where does it say that? How did the Yakuza beat by 11-year-olds in rock, paper, scissors 5 times in a row? Yeah, and he did say he's going all out, right? Misty is training on Seafoam Island, and she's definitely holding herself back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think maybe, like, depending on who you are and where you are in your journey, right? They, like, adjust. It's also strange that some of them seem to be take losing harshly. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Oh, and he's gone. And no one says anything. Oh, this guy says something. Oh, he has like old timey phrases. Blow me away. Giovanni was the gym leader of Viridian. Blow me away. Oh, that's it. Okay, so Hello, chat. I don't love this haircut. It has like no texture to it. It's just like one solid, like it's like a step away from being a bowl cut, right? So we have some book club chotomate. To open up Discord. So this might make my computer chug. What is this, week 3? Okay. Let me move some stuff around so I can still see you, chat. Hello. You guys are on a different screen now. Maybe Giovanni needs to find that pipe. Your title says week 4. Huh? Oh, we're on week 4. Yes, so week 3, but we missed the end. Man, that itch is still there. We missed the end of week 3 because I didn't beat Koga. Or I skipped Koga on accident, so I couldn't look at the week 3 stuff. So I'm going back up to week 3, the top of week 3. Is this week 3? Maybe not. Okay, we're figuring this out. Hold on. I have these in order, but I don't remember which order it is. I don't know who goes first. I'm trying to find my week 3 stuff. Where the heck? Okay, it must be this. I see. Okay, this is Daniel. So Daniel says, implying that other Pokemon don't really understand human speech. So this says, its high intelligence enables it to understand human speech. It likes to ferry people on its back. Rhythm Rally, I need to remember that's you. I need to remember that's you. If your icon is different and your name is different, I have no hope. And I think this is a really good observation. If you have to go out of your way to imply, I mean, like, I feel like that's just obvious because of the way Pokemon are treated in the games versus how they're treated in, I guess you're just not going to see me, versus how they're treated in the anime, right? They're a lot more animalistic in the games. So to say its high intelligence enables it to understand human speech, I do feel like that is, in fact, sorry, you don't need to be sorry. Not at all. I'm just, it's a me thing, not you. Don't worry. How do we give them commands? I feel like they established that at Masters. It's just like a vibe. Plus, you know, you can give dogs commands, you know. Imagine it's like dogs, exactly. Where most Pokemon understand command words, but not a conversational human speech. Yeah. I feel like the Pokeball domesticates them. Yeah. Well, I think it does, actually. So yeah, I think this is a good observation. I think it's a correct observation that other Pokemon do not experience this. Okay, so we're going to delete this. Boop. So we're deleting as we go. All right. Where is Ghastly in the... This is all kind of out of order, and that's my own fault. More proof of real-life places. Yes. So Indian elephant. A being that exists is thin gas. It can topple an Indian elephant by enveloping the prey in 2 seconds. More proof that this is real world, right? Would this imply that Pokemon learn attacks at a certain level because they mastered it, like a dog trick? I mean, I think that's part of it. I don't think that's not true. Here's another one. In China, the spores are used as herbal medicine. I think Gen 1, because it's just copying Gen 1 in a lot of spots. I think Gen 1 is just real world. I think that's just how it is. Here's the sprite of Mr. Fuji. This was also Daniel, Rhythm Rally. Ghastly and Raichu teamed up to assault Indian elephants. No. They do use India a lot. This is, I was like, what am I looking at? This is Rhythm Rally's team. They just wanted to post their team at some point. Dragonair is so fun. Did you get Dragonair from... I don't like seeing just my lips. That's so weird to me. Why can't I click on this? There we go. Did you get that from the game corner? I got Dragonair from the game corner. Okay. Cool. I love Primeape as well. I kind of wish I got a Clefairy. Okay. Where are we now? Oh, so this is Shaxx. I'm reading their description. Another Pokedex entry I found interesting since it references a jungle we've never get to see. It said they live in a huge colonies deep in the jungles. Oh, you're right. Again, I think it's just more examples of real world stuff, just assumptions you're supposed to make. So I guess that kind of like implies maybe Victory Bell is not a Kanto Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the implication here, is that like, I mean, like, it is a Kanto Pokemon because you can find Bellsprout in the wild, but like, doesn't necessarily mean it's like from there, right? The natural habitat or like the original habitat, because it is kind of, Pokemon World does kind of work on under that logic where it's like, oh, there's a place it was found first. Oh, this is their team: Rigatoni, Linguini, Capellini, Penne, Ravioli, Nochi. Exotic Pokemon, yeah, I think that's a good team. I love Grimer, man. Especially after finding out he's made out of X-rays, or he's brought to life by X-rays. Oh, this is Turbo Dog, pointing out how cool Poliwhirl's sprite is. They said it looks like he's holding up a peace sign, which I totally see. I think he's going like this, right? He's like, he doesn't sound like a duck. But it's funny because I saw the peace signs the first time. So I'm like, oh, you're right. I did see that the first time. It took me a little longer to find the rest of it, right? And the rest of the hands. Is very detailed. And then they drew art. How cool is this? This is still the coolest thing. Red is finally able to obtain one of his favorite Pokemon. So cool. This is so good. Look how good this is. Such good art. Has a lot of like I don't know if depth is the right word. It's not flat, so I guess, yeah, depth, right? Depth is the only thing I can think of. Movement? I don't know how to put it. Like, it feels like you can feel the, like, the you know what I mean? Like, you can feel this happening. I think that's so cool. So cool. I feel, okay, so I'm just deleting it from my OBS project, but it feels like I'm deleting it from existence by hitting the button delete. But it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, here's more art. And it was back to back, so it's fine. We'll get it right away. Red encountering his first hard to catch Pokemon. Oh yeah, I guess it was hard to catch, wasn't it? I accidentally killed my first Snorlax. I'm jealous of everybody who gets to catch Snorlax at the bridge. I didn't mean to kill it. I like that one more than the other one. I mean, I like my Snorlax, right? Ultra Ball. I can see the use of an Ultra Ball. I mean, I don't think they're in chat right now. What was your Charmeleon doing the whole time? Like, did you get it down to, like, you know, red? That, like, you know, 1 HP or something, and just the Charmander is just, or sorry, Charmeleon is just watching it happen? Is that what's happening here? Ooh, what did I grab and move? Anyways, awesome art. I'll deeply appreciate it. I think that's so cool. All right, what are we here? So Turbo Dog brought this up in chat while we were playing, but this muck, I assume from Koga, just kept poisoning you and like being really not poisoning. What did Koga? What did he do? He did something that made it just like impossible. Oh, smoke screen. He kept using smoke screen, and of course, it looks like Turbo Dog's trying to use thunder. So I imagine landing a thunder is impossible. Never need the bridge one because I always navigate using the west side of the map. Really? That's so interesting. I love the bridge one. The bridge one to me feels canon. Evasion, smokescreen, and minimize. Yes, that's right. And I had trouble with that too. That's so funny. Did I not take any screenshots of Koga? I must have. It must have been a while ago. Oh yeah, I remember. And you can see the invisible walls if you look at the little white dots. Took me till now to realize the gym badges are named after colors, gold and pink, instead of concepts like in the English version. Oh, where's that at? I'm trying to read it. I can't read that. I'm trying. It's the P version of he. So, pet. My katakana is terrible. Temo, areba, meshino, Pokemono. So it must be something up here. That's the color. Is there pink somewhere? Maybe that's pink. Pink, maybe. Chat, you're seeing the cracks of my Japanese right now. But anyways, that's the color of it. And I assume this next screenshot is too. Yes. Oh yeah, it says gold. Gold though. Pinku baji. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, this one says gold though. Baji. I assume. Yeah, baji. Yeah. Is that a 70? What the heck? Is that how the kanji looks? Oh, because it's a girl. That sounds weird to just say out loud. But the girl has a different. Girls have different font than the boys. I'm like the katakana and sorry, not kanji. The katakana and hiragana didn't look like this 10 seconds ago. I was like, what's happening here? I forgot the girls have a different font. But yeah, so it says gold. That's so cool. So Turbo Dog's playing through in Japanese, and we're getting a lot of insight from that. Turbo Dog mentioning that they skipped a badge, skipped a gym. I did the same thing on accident. Didn't mean to. Thought I was going the right way. I think that's super cool. Also, I see that you have 27 hours, which is much less than me. Lucky. Green says bye bee. Bye bee. So I assume that's the smell you later of Japan. Bye bee. Start saying bye bee. Kaze told us this, that when they chose the other Pokemon, their scroll says something different. It says what goes around comes around. And I wonder if that's just like, oh, here's a saying to part with, like a cool, thing that we live by, or there's like it is related to the gym storyline of like them losing their gym status. I'm not sure. Like what's it coming around to? Did it come around to the gym and did something happen that led to them losing their gym? Like they did something and therefore they lost their gym? You know what I mean? Like I wonder if there's something more to that. I'd have to remember what the other one is. Oh, you could have seen Kaze pointing this out. By the way, Kaze is playing on their TV, which is awesome. You could have seen Articuno flying by if you had looked up at the binoculars, and I must not have gone to this one. That's so cool. So talk about the Mirage Pokemon. You could have gotten a sneak peek at Articuno ahead of time. That's so cool. I think that's genuinely so cool. Kaze also pointed out you get a letter with one of your trades, one of the in-game trades. So if you get one from Dante, that's a healthy jinx. Be kind to it. They'll just send you a letter. That's so interesting. Oh, they're like, I'm the boss now. And this is such a good photo. That's so funny. I'm the boss now. That's Kaze as well. Who put Wheezing in? I'm looking. I'm scrolling through the Discord. By the way, join the Discord. Seriously, I think the Discord's awesome. I highly recommend it. Who gave us Wheezing? Is this the next week? This might be the next week. Yeah, I think we're on the next week. My foot is asleep, and it's starting to hurt really bad. Oh, Errol mentioned some things I want to talk about that have nothing to do with... So let's take this off for now. I think we're on the next week. So let's read the text descriptions first. Nidorino, Nidoqueen are not in the Monster Egg group. They're in the No Eggs Discovered group. Which, by the way, is interesting. Why does that exist? Maybe the 2 Snorlax is a way to signify being able to take 2 separate paths to Fuchsia. Oh, yeah, you're right. Otherwise, not sure why there'd be 2 outside of failing to catch one. Yeah, I think the game is meant to be... Like, I don't think it's supposed to be a secret that the game is, like, open world in a way. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think... Like, I think it only feels that way because Pokemon became more linear later, and, like, a lot of the current Pokemon fandom... started like I want to say my prediction is that not my prediction my assumption is that most of the Pokemon fandom current day Pokemon fandom started in Gen 4, so Gen 4 and onwards is normalized for them, and so therefore Gen 1 being like open world feels like a novelty that you have to point out, right, rather than the default like it used to be when it first came out, right? So I think the game, it wasn't trying to hide that you could go different paths. I think you were supposed to go different paths. Like that's an intentional game design decision. And I think that 2 Snorlax is a good example of that. So good pointing out. But yeah, I just don't think I don't think it was hidden, right? I think that it was on purpose. So the fact that 2 of us did it on accident, where we went the wrong way, the quote unquote wrong way, I think it's just intentional. Team update. Added Cubone, Snorlax, this is Errol still, and Mark, Lickitung, Lapras in a box as a Nidoqueen. Lapras in a box as his Nidoqueen. Oh, I see what you're saying. Orchidal and Nidorino are now Blastoise and Nidoking. Not able to add screenshots this time around. No worries. This is Shaq's write-up. I wish I thought to take a screenshot of my gym battles, but I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who struggled with muck, so I'm assuming it's the smoke screen and the minimize. And it's funny, again, Turbo Dog was trying to use Thunder, which is already hard to hit, right? Sabrina's Hypno was a lot worse for me because I was so underleveled, but thankfully I managed to flush out Sabrina's 2 heals beforehand and just inflicted poison. Twice since she has full heal. Oh no, I barely scraped by. I love that. Also, I have to confess, I cheated a little. I saw on the Pokedex that you could get Grimer from Celadon City, and I googled how. Super rare from fishing. I did not know that. And it's so funny because I was like, is there a Grimer in this town? I never thought to fish for it, which makes so much sense for Sludge. Does that ever happen again? Picture my team from before Grimer evolved. And I feel like that's like an example of the game being realistic over being a game. Like them taking a realistic choice. Of course you'd find sludge in the water. Right? Like oil in the water. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Over, oh, the only thing you find in the water are fish, right? Vitamin Me put up Weezing's entry. Well, I think it's the next week. So we'll get there in a second. No eggs discovered is typically reserved for legendary, mythical, and baby Pokemon. Nidorino, Nidoqueen, and Unknown, and Hat Pikachu being exceptions. Interesting. Why? There's obviously something to that. They made that choice on purpose. Rhythm Rally mentioned something about the badges. The dialogue saying something about how your Pokemon become more wild if you don't have enough badges. And I think it's just a respect thing. I think that's like the thing they've been hammering home. Okay, so Adept Charon says, what's crazy to me is that Sabrina, a literal psychic, is not getting involved with the rocket takeover at all. Especially when I realized that her gym is basically the only place outside of rocket locations that's teleporter tiles. She also has a Koga coded Mon on her team. I'm starting to wonder if some of the gym leaders, part of the sinister, something sinister in their gym leader front is just a fake public image. So I think this is being influenced by the manga, right? The manga has some of that in it, where like there's the gym leaders are a lot more involved in the story, but I think that's because, and it's not specifically talking to Adept about this. I think this is a generalized thing. I think that's because people miss the stories they were actually having. Does that make sense? Um, like how there's a whole storyline with Sabrina that we talked about, a week or two ago, right? There's a whole storyline with Sabrina, but if you like didn't ever know, catch up on or catch on to that, it'd be like these gym leaders do nothing, right? Like each like Mr. Fuji and Mr. Fuji's not a gym leader, but Mr. Fuji and Blaine have a whole storyline going on, right? But again, if you're not paying attention, it seems like the gym leaders like. I think the default assumption is that gym leaders didn't do anything in Gen 1, right? Other than be gym leaders. And so, like, that plus people who read the manga, want to fit those storylines into that empty space that they thought was there. But the thing is, like, I think the existence of those storylines that are in Gen 1 imply that it's not the stuff that's happening in the manga. I also think there's, like, some quote where it's like, oh, the manga is closer to, like, what I thought the game would be like, and I think that's more of like a vibes thing and not a literal like these storylines are what happened in the game, because it's very clearly an adaptation, and there is actually a more game accurate manga that came out, that has stuff that happened in the game happened in the manga as opposed to the much different stuff that happened in Pokemon Special or whatever, right? um so I think that's, does that make sense? Like I think it's just like, we were talking about, and this is, I'm not comparing Adept to the people on Twitter. Gosh, no. I just mean like, people, you're used to a certain way of that things were for like, 3 decades. And so then now being like almost forced to like change, adjust to new information is just difficult. When I learned about the baby Pokemon thing, I love like the term baby Pokemon, right? As in like I was attached to it because I was there when we all learned about it, right? I was there when we got the important Japanese Pokemon cards and like learned about things ahead of time, right? Like that was so exciting. You would literally only learn if you got the card. You're like, what is this? I've never seen this before. So like I have an attachment to like anything from that time frame, including the term baby Pokemon. So it took me like, I wasn't like immediately okay with having to throw away the term baby Pokemon, right, for the games. I'm like, well, we can keep this one. you know this one's okay, right? And so I get it. I get that it's hard to adjust to new information, but yeah, I don't like, I think like obviously Blaine and Fuji have something happening, right? But I think the existence of a storyline being there, and then this is the second time they've had to do it, right? Like this is a remake of Gen 1, and they have more story in them, like the Fame Checker adds more to it, right? If they didn't take that chance, that opportunity to add more to the story, then it probably was never there. Does that make sense? And that existence of a story that's already there that they're fleshing out means that is actually what's happening, right? Like it's not like some lie, right? Worth noting how early on Tajiri said that thing about the manga. The only real alternative at that point was the anime. Exactly. Yeah. And I think again, it's just like a vibe, like like oh, the Pokemon are more realistic or more down to earth in the manga. Therefore, it is closer to, I mean, there's more, things are more dangerous in the manga. You know what I mean? Like I think it's more like that. I don't think it was like everything that happens in this is exactly what happened in the game, because obviously that's not true with like the most mild of surface level, understanding of what happens in the game in the manga, right? Oh, I didn't mean to make that pop up, but that's fine. All right, moving on. I bumped my keyboard. Wait, week 4. So I got to find wheezing. Oh, it looks like we have more. What the heck? We have more stuff in here that wasn't in here last time. Oh, yes, it was. I downloaded the videos. I don't think I actually think I left them out. Okay, so yes, it was Rhythm Rally that did wheezing. Hold on. The manga's really good. Everyone should definitely read it. I started it. I never finished it. I should read more. When we do the Gen 1 video in like 5 years, we'll read more. Oh, Rhythm Rally pointed out the X-rays of Grimer, which is awesome, but also pointed out Muck being very rarely a sudden mutation can result in two small coughing twins becoming conjoined as a wheezing. I feel like there's a lot of this. I mean, like, I don't think this is very good, what I'm about to say. But in the 90s, there was a lot of, like... I mean, like, maybe before the 90s as well, but, like, definitely in the 90s. I remember growing up and there's a lot of this. A lot of, like Ripley's Believe It or Not, news stories, the tabloid magazines that you get at the end of the grocery store where it's like, child with giant alien eyes found in Colorado. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of that going on in the 90s. You work at a Ripley's? Really? Anyways, what I'm saying is that's kind of cool, to be honest. What I'm saying is, like, the fascination with, like, conjoined twins and the goat with two heads, right? The sheep with two heads, the sheep that's a clone. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was all, like, those are all big news stories in the 90s, right? And so I feel like that's this, right? I feel like that's what's going on right here with the wheezing, is that, like, they're taking these, like, real world things and, like, mystifying them by making them into Pokemon, right? It's like, which again is kind of like, you know, maybe doesn't hold up super well if you really think about it. But yeah, I think that's what's going on here, which I think is actually, like, historically very interesting. I think you're right about that. Yeah. I think historically it's very interesting, because it's like a very much a moment in time, right? And again, I don't know if that was true in the 80s, but it definitely was true in the 90s. Yep, there's the Grimer X-rays. I love that so much. So Rhythm Rally pointed that as well. Rhythm Rally, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Rhythm Rally pointed this out. I did not know this. You can learn about, you can see little write-ups of the town map locations. Of course, I didn't, like, look into the town map because I'm just used to using it. I don't need it. But yeah, if you click on them, you can read things about them. And I did not know that. Mount Moon, a mystical mountain that is known for its frequent meteor falls. The shards of the stars that fall here are known as moonstones. Oh, there you go. There's your answer. We were talking about this earlier. So yeah, the moonstones are from space. That's so cool. That's so cool. So cool. Genuinely awesome. All right, whose is this? I feel like I'm missing the videos. I don't know if I there's videos that were included, but I don't know if I have those. So I apologize if I miss some. I'll try to look through the actual Discord. Where was this at? Whose Blastoise is this? Oh, it's Errol's. Kagura the Blastoise and Baragon the Nidoking are my strongest kaiju at the moment. So they have, like, a kaiju team. And I assume this is just them beating Giovanni. Bonely, the Marowak is close third, but I can take it. I think it was Marowak, the one that I didn't expect to be a kaiju or something. But I guess it makes sense if it's related to Kangaskhan. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe I did already know that. Oh, this was interesting to me. This is another Arrow screenshot. Took on Cinnabar Island gym leaders Blaine's Arcanine with Blastoise and won tenaciously. I wonder if they describe things differently per gym badge. Kragero is a Gamera parody from Billy and Mandy. Wow, I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, here's another Turbo Dog. illustration. Poliwag is a Pokemon that can evolve 3 times. No. Red learned so much of the language he was able to answer the quiz questions. Oh, you were super... I assume what this means is you're super excited to, like, answer in Japanese. Yeah. That's so cool. I beat Sabrina with Butterfree and said I won somehow. That's... Please tell me that's real. Like that they had a sense of awareness. We need more examples of that. That's awesome. I wonder if they're just randomized. That's so mean. Very cool, Turbo Dog. This is so good. No, honestly, so cool. So this is interesting. Now, Rhythm Rally pointed out that the Nintendo Music uses a screenshot and names them Blue. First of all, I think it's interesting that it's lowercase. I don't think it's usually lowercase. Is that true? I don't remember. Like, is my green lowercase? I forgot. But they very clearly named it themselves. Unless this is from LeafGreen. Maybe LeafGreen's a... Is it blue in LeafGreen? In FireRed, it's green. Yeah, his default name is green. All caps is the default for these games. Yeah. So they went out of their way to name them Rival Blue, which is fine because that is the canon name in English. But like that's a lot of steps that like to ignore his name, right? I feel like they should have fixed it to green by now. I think that should have been true for a long time ago. Oh, is this a shiny? Someone, is this a shiny? The coloring of it? They said so. This is the description. It says this is run from Ryan Giever. I've been behind because all my teammates ended up being 1% encounters. In the course of trying to find this stupid, in an affectionate way, duck, came across this instead. So they're implying this is special somehow. So I assume this is a shiny. I can't tell if it's the screen because it's like such a slight different color. I can't tell if it's the screen that they're taking a picture off of that makes it look different, or they're just excited to find a horsey. You know what I mean? But I think this is a shiny. I think someone found a shiny. It looks pretty special. It looks like darker, right? So I think they found like a full on shiny. It doesn't matter, but I only think calling the Kanto Rival Blue really makes sense. Context of Gen 1 and 2 games specifically, since there's no Pokemon Water Blue version. What? Oh, I see what you mean. I'm colorblind, so I can't tell you. That's funny. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it is special. Okay, I mean, it is shiny. That's so cool. Can you get full on shiny in this book club? What are the chances? That's so cool. Okay, this is... I think this is Kaze's. Yes. Ultraman? Good name for a Starmie. I like posting Kaze's screenshots. Not even screenshots. Shots of screens. It's really just nice to see what it looks like on a TV. So cool. Oh yeah, I wanted to see this. I want to zoom in and everything. I wanted to see this on our screen. The eyes bleed in. I wish you took a little bit closer of a screenshot. I wanted to see the eyes, how the eyes worked. I bet they look so cool on a CRT. They probably blend in really well. I'm trying to use Pokemon I haven't used much before. My team is Venusaur, Ninetales, Tentacruel, Tauros, Golem. Golem is so cool. Yeah. I've been trying to do that too. I'm kind of failing at it. No, I'd say about 3 of my Pokemon are unique. So I'm not failing at it too much. Half failing at it. Why did you send a picture of Ammonite? Trying to scroll up and find. Oh, Lord Helix. Okay, all right. Okay. Mew gave birth. Just cool to see on a TV. The Leaf sprite is so nice. I'll definitely play LeafGreen as Leaf when we play that eventually. And then they found a Ditto. So that's all of them, but we're missing the videos. I'm going to see what the videos are about and see if we need to play them. And I think we actually have some more information. People posted more a second ago, too. Oh, this one is, I don't know how to play this. So I'm just going to read it. You can obviously hear it a little bit. Oh, man, I can't. Oh, if you go to Cerulean Cave ahead of time before you're supposed to, because you can now, there's a trainer blocking it. It says horribly strong Pokemon live inside there. We should go check this. It takes a very special trainer to be allowed inside there, which I do remember from a kid. When I was a kid, you'd have to be strong enough to become the Pokemon League champion for starters, and you would have to have made a great achievement. So Rhythm Rally posted this, and that's like good sleuthing. I didn't even think to go back there. So cool. Metronome was the best move ever. So they're using Metronome. I won't say what it is because, you know, I feel like it's like explaining a joke. Oh, Adepts. Okay, so now we can talk about the text posts. Adept Charon says, they took a screenshot of our conversation last time, and they said, I simply interpret this as the aspect of having two heads being explained as a mutation for the Doduo Pokedex entry, which is a two-headed Pokemon that was discovered as a sudden mutation. It runs at the pace of over 60 miles per hour. So they're just saying, like, oh, they're just taking it at face value. But I do think it's like that whole, like, Ripley's Believe It or Not era of the 90s, where it's like, oh, it's like a two-headed sheep, but it's the Pokemon instead. So anytime there's like an interesting, like, what is it called? Like a cult thing that was happening in the 90s, I think they just took that and like mystified it into a Pokemon. So I think nowadays it would be just like, oh, it has two heads. But like, I think the context of the 90s, I think that was more of like a Ripley's Believe It or Not thing. An oddity. Yes. Let me catch up on chat too. I was trying to use Pokemon. I haven't. Oh, I read that. My brother shiny hunted for Ponyta and got it the other day. I shiny hunt a lot, so I've gotten him into it. Very cool. Trying to build a not like the other girls team. I have Electabuzz, Wigglytuff, Primeape, Tentacruel, Persian, and Parasect. Electabuzz is such a cool Pokemon because like no one ever uses it. You know what I mean? Like maybe in Gen 4 and onward, but like Electabuzz, what a unique Pokemon. Not forgotten, but like usurped, right? Oh, Errol's talking about trainer rematches. I'm not going to read it because I want to try it. I'm being a little bit selfish. Okay, I want to try that myself. I'm being a little bit selfish. And that's it. We did it. How long did that take us? Okay, so it took us an hour and a half plus 3 hours. That was a 4.5 hour meeting. Guys, I love talking about Pokemon. So this plus the first half last time, I was a 4.5 hour meeting, chat. That's crazy. No YouTube comments? I'm biased. What? This is good stuff. I like this a lot. Okay, so I'm not wide awake. I love these meetings. Thank you. I'm not wide awake, but I'm not tired yet. So I have to end this stream because it needs to be a separate VOD. So I can, first of all, upload it to YouTube as a VOD, but then I can easily make it into a long form video when I'm done, right? I left a ton of YouTube comments on the VOD channel. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you were the one that's been like holding up the fort, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I love doing this. This is so fun. Oh, anyways, what I was saying is, I don't know how I'll feel when I hit end. So I'll either be like super tired and be like, okay, I'm not streaming anymore, or you might suddenly see me pop up, and we will play, Island 1. I forget what it's called. The first of the Sevi Islands. Right, we'll stream that. Because I have to catch up, because the whole episode where I slept for 2 days long after finals week makes me think like I'm running out of time this week. So I've got a nap, but have fun. Yeah, have a good nap. One Island. What a weird name. I bet that sounds cooler in Japanese. I bet you that's it. It's like, oh man, English. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of original Pokemon names are just like this is an English word. You know? So cool. Thunder. Oh, here's another one. Thunders. You know what I mean? So I almost feels like it's instead of like, well, maybe it's Ichi Island or Ichi, whatever island is in Japanese. Maybe it is that, but I bet it's like, if I had to put money on it, I'd bet it's like one in katakana for, you know, an English borrowed word. One. You know, that's English we're using right now. Okay, so anyways, you might see me soon, you might not see me soon, but that's the end of today. This was so fun. I enjoyed this so much. I feel like we didn't accomplish, not that we didn't accomplish stuff. I feel like there's some hanging threads that we didn't quite like solve. But we haven't quite, like, I still think there's more to learn, right? We still have more post-gaming kind of stuff. We still have to search for Mewtwo. We know Mewtwo exists. We still have to search the pipe. Yeah, we still have to search for Mewtwo. So I'm not like disappointed that we didn't solve things, but it's not like with the whole rival storyline where Green, we like figured out what that storyline was. I feel like there's some like empty or hanging threads that we have to piece together still. So, you know, put a pin in that. Remember those things we didn't quite figure out and see if we can't figure it out by next meeting. I have no prior engagements. So the only thing holding me back from figuring this or having a normal meeting this Sunday is A, my sleep schedule is totally ruined. And B, because my sleep schedule is ruined, I'm days behind playing. So there's a chance things go wrong this week, but hopefully they do not. You will see me stream soon. I'm not going to stream. I don't think I'm going to stream. I might play it, but I'm not going to stream Tomodachi Life. I'm picking my battles. I haven't even played Pokopia yet. So I don't think I'm going to stream. Like, I don't really like, that game like, it would be interesting for like a one-day stream, but like, funny games are hard to stream because it's the game that's being funny, not me, right? Not that I'm like jealous of the game. Not jealous of the game. But like, it's like I have no like creative input, right? I have nothing to solve. It's just like we're all watching a YouTube video unfold, right? I don't think you survive Pokopia. No. Here it comes. Do not. I've avoided everything. Do not tell me anything about Pokopia. I'll ban the word Pokopia. No, we will not. No, here it comes, or like, this is the saddest, you know, I don't want to know anything. We're going in completely fresh. I might just like make it emote only mode. I'm so far behind in Pokopia. But anyways, the other aspect of that is that I need to make a YouTube video during my break, because the YouTube video I've been wanting to make requires a lot of time off, but just like free time to do like long form video recordings or whatever. And so I want to use my break for that. Oh, I didn't finish my coffee. That sucks because I love coffee. Bummer. I've heard you can. No, I don't want fake spoilers. Poke Kaiju video. No, it's just the X and Y video. It just needs to be done and over with. I think I'm avoiding it mentally because I just like I already know the answer, right? I'm only making it for the sake of other people. Like, obviously, it'll be a YouTube channel on my YouTube video, or a YouTube video on my YouTube channel, but I'm just making it because it's like I feel obligated to, not because I'm particularly enjoying it. I already know I'm right, right? So like the satisfaction, I already had the satisfaction moment. I don't have anymore, right? I'm like 99.9% away from getting this Switch 2 for Pokopia and Kirby Air Riders 2. Kirby Air Riders 2. What? I'm just kidding. Kirby Air Riders is so good. I've been playing Kirby Air Riders just regularly. But anyways, yeah, I need to finish the X and Y video, the conclusion, right? So I can get that away from me. And then we can make fun videos for a little bit. And then I think the next video is actually my Scarlet and Violet video. And then I assume I'll want to, like, I don't know, but I assume I'll want to make something after Pokopia. But again, I haven't played it to know if that I'm like gonna get that itch, right? But But anyways, that's what I foresee. But we'll see. All right, chat. That's it. Thanks for coming. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye. That was so fun. I'll see you guys. Join my Patreon. Okay, bye.